to fend off my family's pressure to marry. I paid 9.9 yuan online to hire a young woman to enter a fake marriage. But when we registered at the civil affairs office, the clerk looked at me with utter contempt. You're already married. Why are you here to register again? Don't you know bigamy is a crime? After leaving the office, I stared blankly at the printed marriage certificate. The woman beside me sighed regretfully. Mr. Ling, you're already married. Why did you pay to hire me? Then she said, no refunds on the deposit, and hurried off. I stood there frozen, still unable to process it. I had never even held a girl's hand. How could I possibly be married? I looked again at the document in my hand. The man in the ID photo was definitely me. As for the woman, her name was Shen Youchu. She was certainly beautiful, but I did not know her at all. I took out my phone and snapped a photo. I sent it to a contact with a black profile picture. Find out who she is. They replied instantly, got it. Pushing down my confusion, I rode my beat-up electric scooter into a luxury villa complex. The moment I parked, I heard the servants gossiping behind me. Who is he? He's so handsome. Shh, don't say that. He's the Ling family's unacknowledged illegitimate son. His mother came here heavily pregnant, demanding answers. That old woman has no shame. She kept making excuses to stay with the Lings. At least he knows his place. He moved out in middle school. Who knows why he's here today? I frowned and pretended not to hear. Then I walked straight into the living room. My mother, Liu Li, was waiting at the door when she saw me. She anxiously dragged me upstairs at once. Come see your brother first. Oh, right? You got the marriage certificate, yes? I answered evenly. I did. Good. Remember your place. Shen is your brother's fiancée. A top-tier family like hers is beyond what an illegitimate son like you can ever hope for. Only your brother deserves her. Mockery flashed in my eyes. Shen pursued me for 4 years in college. Yet on graduation day, she got together with my brother, Ling Fan. Liu Li demanded that I marry someone immediately to erase any possibility between Shen and me. Ever since childhood, whenever Ling Fan and I had a conflict of interest, she always made me yield without condition. I looked at her coldly. We agreed. This is the last time. I did this only to repay her for giving birth to me. Liu Li impatiently said, I know. When we reached Ling Fan's room, he greeted me with a smile. Ling Yu, what are you doing here? Before I could speak, Liu Li cut in first. Xiao Fan, Ling Yu got married today. Ling Fan looked surprised. That fast? Who is she? Is she better than Sister Shen? Liu Li sneered. How could she be? In all of hiking, no one has greater status than Miss Shen. What good family could he possibly find? She's just some street thug. He did not even dare bring her here, afraid her shabby appearance would offend your eyes. Ling Fan spoke with a bitter edge. How could that be? Ling Yu is so handsome. Otherwise, Sister Shen would not have chased him for years. What good are looks? With his status, only some nobody he picked up somewhere would be willing to marry him. Miss Shen only saw him as a toy, something to play with for fun. Only you, with your status, are worthy of Miss Shen. The woman in that photo, with her looks and bearing, did not seem like a street thug at all, but I could not be bothered to argue. Ling Fan had just put on his watch. He wanted to put on his dress shoes, but his shirt was too tight, making it hard for him to bend over. He smiled faintly at me. Liu Li immediately shoved me. You useless thing. Why are you still so oblivious? Your brother cannot bend down. Hurry up and put his shoes on for him. My expression turned cold. You can put them on for him yourself. Ling Yu, what kind of attitude is that? You think getting a wife means you can stand on your own now? You will still have to rely on the Ling family. Liu Li raised her voice. If you do not stay on your brother's good side now, one day, you and your wife will be begging him for help. Besides, the Ling family raised you. You should work yourself to the bone for the Lings. Before I could respond, my father, Ling Zhenin, suddenly appeared in the doorway. An important guest will arrive soon. What are you arguing about? Liu Li immediately began to complain tearfully. It is this ungrateful son. He got his marriage certificate today, and now he has no respect for me as his mother. Ling Zhenin looked at me. You got married. Why did you not let the family introduce someone to you? Do you have the certificate? Let me see it. Faced with concern from this distant father, I hesitated. Then I pulled the printout from my bag. Liu Li snatched it away the next second. Let me see what your thug wife is called. Meanwhile, Ling Fan asked curiously, Dad, who is coming? Why are you so nervous? At the thought of that person, Ling Zhenin felt their humble home was honored by her presence. He excitedly spoke a name, Shen Youchu. Hearing that name, I froze instantly. Seeing our confusion, Ling Zhenin explained proudly. It is normal that you do not know her. She is very mysterious. Even I have never met her. She is Shen Shenzan. She is only 28, yet she is already the true head of the Shen family. Liu Li gasped instinctively. Wouldn't she be more qualified to lead the family than Shen? She is far better than some eldest granddaughter. Ling Zhenin replied irritably. What are you saying? Miss Shen is already married. I narrowed my eyes. Married? If the woman on that marriage certificate was really her, then Shen Youchu must know what is going on. Liu Li looked slightly slightly disappointed. Who is her husband? How is he even luckier than Xiaofan? Ling Zhenin frowned and thought. I do not know. I heard neither she nor her husband enjoys socializing. So, why would she come here in person today? Liu Li declared with certainty. It must be because Xiaofan is so exceptional that he caught the Shen family's attention. With that, she shoved the unread printout back into my hand. She took Ling Fan's hand, brimming with excitement. I smiled mockingly. The way she acted, she seemed more invested than Madame Ling, his actual mother. Just then, the butler came upstairs to say the Shens were nearly here. Ling Zhenin hurried downstairs. As he passed me, he casually said, You have not been home in a long time. Stay for a celebratory drink before you go. I nodded. I wanted to stay and find out exactly who Shen Youchu was. In the room, Liu Li watched Ling Fan prepare to marry into a powerful family. Her eyes shone with irrepressible delight. More than 20 years ago, if Madame Ling, Li Xia, had not appeared, Liu Li would have been the one to marry Ling Zhenin. She hated Li Xia, so, to get revenge on her, when they gave birth on the same day, she switched their babies at the hospital. Now, her biological son, Ling Fan, was the Ling family's young master, while I, the real young master, had become the despised illegitimate son. After going downstairs, I stood in the shadows beside the stairs, watching the entrance, and quietly waiting for the Shens to arrive. After some time, Madame Ling, Li Xia, came downstairs with a servant supporting her. She wore a purple qipao, her frame slender, with a gentle, scholarly air. The servant murmured, Madam, you are not well. You should not come downstairs. Madame Ling coughed and shook her head. No, this is such an important day for Xiaofan. I cannot miss it. I watched her receding figure, my eyes filled with longing and affection. It was almost laughable. She was my only warmth in the Ling family. When I was young, Liu Li often denied me food. After Madame Ling caught her once, every day, she went to the garden at a set time. There, she left food for me. She did that for 12 years. Without Madame Ling's kindness, I probably would have given up on myself long ago. As Madame Ling walked farther away, her cough echoing now and then, I frowned with concern. Then there was a sudden commotion at the entrance. The Shen family had arrived. Ling Zhenin and Madame Ling greeted them at the door. After a few pleasantries, they stepped aside, and the large group entered the house. I spotted Shen Youchu at once. She was even more beautiful than in the photo, with a cool, commanding presence. Noticing my gaze, she suddenly looked my way. That piercing gaze made my heart skip. I tried to read the emotions in her eyes, but Shen Youchu withdrew her gaze and looked away. It left me confused. Did she know me, or did she not? Ling Zhenin smiled ingratiatingly. Miss Shen, where is your husband? Did he not come with you? At those words, I felt Shen Youchu glance at me again. He could not make it. With that, everyone ushered her toward the reception room. Shen, who had pursued me for years, followed behind. In her formal gown, she seemed more mature and composed than in college. She did not see me. She was absently chatting with Ling Fan. As I stood there quietly, Liu Li grabbed my arm. She lowered her voice and scolded me. What are you still doing here? Have you still not given up on Shen? Let me tell you, she is your sister-in-law now. I shook her off with a mocking smile. Do not worry. I have no interest in being the other man. Mr. Ling asked me to stay for a celebratory drink. Ever since I was old enough to understand, I had called Ling Zhenin Mr. Ling. Liu Li gritted her teeth in fury. He was only being polite, and you took it seriously. You really have no idea who you are. At an occasion like this, even I am not permitted to attend, lest embarrass the Ling family. What makes an illegitimate son like you worthy of a seat? Get out now. I frowned impatiently. Just as I was about to speak, I saw Shen Youchu head to the balcony to answer a call. I brushed Liu Li off and followed her. The moment I approached, Shen Youchu, who was on the phone, ended the call. Then she looked at me coldly. I stopped short, meeting her dangerous gaze. My lips curved, testing her. I called, wife. Shen Yuchu's eyes remained icy. I stared directly at Shen Youchu, watching for her reaction. But after hearing that name, the chill around her deepened as she looked at me, without the slightest flicker of emotion. Then she turned to leave. I quickly stepped forward and blocked her path. You do not know me. Shen Youchu looked down at me condescendingly. Move. Should I know you? Sir, I am married. Show some respect. I was baffled. She clearly did not know me, yet she said she was married. Had the registry office recorded the wrong information? May I ask who your husband is? That is none of your business. Another icy dismissal. I took out the copy of the marriage certificate and held it out to her. Miss Shen, you are the woman listed here, right? Shen Yuchu's gaze fell on the man's name. She sneered. Mr. Ling, an original copy would not cost much, would it? If you are forging documents At least do it professionally. She did not return to the reception room. Instead, she strode through the small garden toward the parking lot. I chased after her to explain, but two bodyguards stopped me. I called after her. Miss Shen, this certificate is real. If you do not believe me, you can check with the registry office. Youchu got in her car and drove away. Her personal assistant stayed behind. I returned to the reception room and ran into Ling Fan. He had seen me trying to stop Youchu. His eyes flickered. Ling Zhenin looked deeply worried. Why did Miss Shen leave? Did we fail to host her properly? Ling Fan clenched his fists. His voice hesitant. I saw Ling Yu harassing Miss Shen. Miss Shen left very angry. She also left a message. She said you should keep your family in line. After what Ling Yu did, will the Shens think our family lacks manners? Ling Zhenin's face turned livid. Meanwhile, as I cursed myself for losing Shen Youchu on my electric scooter, my phone suddenly rang. When I answered, a woman's voice came through. Boss, I found information on Shen Youchu. Shen Youchu is old Master Shen's second daughter. Rumor says she is cold-blooded and ruthless. So she was sent abroad as a child. Everyone thought control of the Shen family would pass to the eldest son, Shen's father. No one expected Shen Youchu to return last week. No one knew what ruthless methods she used, but she forced the old master to step down and took direct control of the Shen group. I frowned and said, find her contact details and schedule. Then I will go see her. After hanging up, I rubbed my brow. This was troublesome. With Shen Yuchu's status, seeing her would not be easy. I should not have run my mouth today and called her wife. I had angered her into leaving. I sighed. I started my beat-up scooter and slowly headed home. I left the bustling downtown, heading to the rundown neighborhood on the outskirts. When I moved out of the Ling house, I had little money. I could only rent an old place here. Later, I grew used to it, so I never moved away. Just as I turned the corner toward home, an elderly woman in her 80s or 90s suddenly darted out from the roadside. I slammed on the brakes, barely avoiding a collision. At first, I thought she was staging an accident to extort me, but I quickly saw that she was dressed neatly. A tag hung around her neck with a contact number on it. It also said that if the elderly woman got lost, please call the number listed. A generous reward would be given. Clearly, the old woman had Alzheimer's. I immediately took out my phone and entered the number on her tag. But the vacant-looking old woman before me suddenly grabbed my wrist. Her eyes suddenly lit up. You are my granddaughter's husband. My mouth twitched. I had been single for 22 years. How had I suddenly gained another wife today? I found it amusing. Casually, I asked, Grandma, who is your granddaughter? What is her name? Oh, right. Her surname is Shen. Shen. What was it? The name she had just remembered vanished the moment she tried to say it. The old woman grew anxious, her mouth opening and closing, but she could not get those words out. Ma'am, do not worry. It is all right if you cannot remember. After reassuring her, I made the call. Meanwhile, on a street not far away, Shen Youchu sat in a Bentley, her face grim. Her subordinate, Liu Qiang, hardly dared breathe beside her. I failed to watch her properly. I let the old madam wander off. She said nothing, radiating an icy chill. The old madam was vacant most of the time. Who could have expected her to suddenly improve today? She sent everyone away, then slipped out. Only after checking the surveillance footage did we discover that the old madam had taken a bus to the outskirts by herself. This area is rundown. Many streets have no surveillance cameras, so we can only conduct a street-by-street search. Just then, her phone suddenly rang. Shen Youchu answered at once. My calm voice came through the line. Hello, I have your elderly relative. The atmosphere inside the car instantly froze. Everyone sprang into action. Some prepared to call the police. Liu Qiang was tracing the call signal. Shen Yuchu's gaze sharpened. In an icy voice, she asked, how much do you want? I am joking. I only wanted to tell you to take better care of her. Then I gave her the address and hung up. 5 minutes later, they reached the old woman's location. I was already gone. Only a police officer remained, waiting with her. Shen Youchu asked her grandmother, how did you get here? The old madam said mysteriously, I came to find my granddaughter's husband. He lives around here. Shen Youchu paused slightly. Grandma, there is no granddaughter's husband. Impossible. I saw him. That heartless man handed me to the police and left. Oh, right? Give me your phone. Shen Youchu handed her phone over. The old woman opened Shen Yuchu's call log and wrote the number from the recent call in her little notebook. She said happily, I finally have my granddaughter's husband's contact information. Early the next morning, I received a call from Professor Wen, my university advisor. The moment I entered his office, I found Ling Fan and Liu Li there as well. Ling Fan and I both attended hiking university. He considered himself a top student. To avoid outshining him, I deliberately chose the least popular major, energy and power engineering. But 2 years ago, new energy suddenly became a booming field. Ling Fan immediately transferred departments and became my classmate again. Ling Fan being there made sense. But why was Liu Li here? Just as I thought that. Professor Wen looked at me gravely. Ling Yu, your guaranteed place in graduate school has been revoked. Your mother says your character is flawed and your birth is illegitimate, making you ineligible for it. Is there some misunderstanding between you and your mother? Go apologize to her quickly. You have a promising future. Do not ruin it over a moment of anger. Ling Fan sighed. Professor Wen. Ling Yu's mother only wants what is best for him. He turned to me. You offended Miss Shen. Miss Shen said she would make you disappear from hiking. It took me a while to understand. That Miss Shen meant Shen Youchu, but I had only exchanged a few words with her. Besides, before she left yesterday, she did not even seem angry. Ling Fan, on the other hand, was a habitual liar. As I considered it, Ling Fan walked up to me. Ling Yu, father bought this plane ticket for you. He wants you to leave the country until things cool down. Otherwise, even the Ling family cannot protect you. Mockery flashed through my eyes. They were simply afraid I would drag the Ling family down. When Ling Fan saw that I would not take it, he took out a bank card. Are you worried you will not be able to survive abroad? There is 50,000 yuan on it. This is spending money for me personally. Use it for now. If it is not enough, I will give you more when I get my allowance. The prestigious Ling family's eldest young master only had 50,000 yuan to offer? I found it laughable. But Liu Li suddenly snatched the bank card away. Ling Fan, what are you doing? The Ling family buying him a plane ticket is already more than generous enough. She glared at me and ordered, pack your things and leave the country immediately. I have already withdrawn you from school. I looked at her coldly. What gives you the right to make decisions for me? Because I am your mother. Besides, with grades like yours, you will be lucky to graduate. You may as well leave the country now and earn money working. Professor Wen could not help speaking up. Ling Yu's mother, you are mistaken. Student Ling has, during his time at school, before he could finish, Liu Li cut him off. Professor, you do not need to defend him. Do I not know exactly what he is like? Is he not applying to graduate school only because Ling Fan is? He should take a good look at himself and see what he amounts to. What makes him worthy of comparing himself to Ling Fan? Professor Wen was left speechless. He looked at Ling Fan in surprise. I remember you were not granted guaranteed admission, and you did not take the graduate entrance exam either. Ling Fan smiled modestly. I was specially admitted. Seeing the professor's question, he feigned modesty. Dr. Yu arranged my special admission. He successfully developed a clean hydrogen energy oil fuel and applied for a patent. He was awarded a doctorate. I was astonished. Dr. Yu? How did I not know I was supposed to specially admit Ling Fan to repay Madame Ling's kindness? All these years, under the name Dr. Yu, I had provided technical support to the Ling company. I had even fabricated the identity of someone she sponsored. Ling Fan continued spinning his lies. My mother sponsored Yu's schooling then. So after Dr. Yu completed his studies, he came to my family. He said my mother was his lifesaver. All these years, he has been providing technical support to our company. He should not refuse any request I make. Professor Wen believed him. He asked where Dr. Yu worked. I said, the dean will invite Dr. Yu to teach at our university. Professor Wen was overjoyed. He said to me, Ling Yu, your research field is the same as Dr. Yu's. I will introduce you to him then. If Dr. Yu is willing to speak for you, there may still be hope for your guaranteed admission. Ling Fan feigned concern. Professor Wen, is that really wise? The Shen family is Haiqing's richest family. They provide our university with substantial research funding every year. Dr. Yu is highly sought after now. If Dr. Yu is willing to step in, the university will surely choose him. Ling Fan sighed. But Dr. Yu is doing this out of respect for my mother. If it were for me, he would certainly spare no effort to help. But Ling Yu is my father's illegitimate son, so he stands against my mother. Ling Yu, how about I ask Dr. Yu for you? I refused with a cold laugh. Ling Fan was nothing but a pathetic clown. I said to Professor Wen, Professor Wen, you know, I never wanted to attend graduate school. Liu Li curled her lip. Do not waste your breath. After offending Miss Shen, you still think you can find a job in hiking? Dream on. I do not believe anyone can control all of hiking. If you truly cannot find work, come work as my teaching assistant. Professor Wen was furious. Then he turned to me and said gently. Warmth filled my heart. Professor, there is only a small misunderstanding between Miss Shen and me. Once we clear it up, everything will be fine. You do not need to worry. Ling Fan clenched his fist at the sight. His voice turned mocking. Ling Yu, are you still going to harass Miss Shen? She is already married. What you are doing is truly disgraceful. As expected, Liu Li flew into a rage. She immediately slapped me across the face. I stared at Liu Li in disbelief. I never expected her to strike me in front of Professor Wen. Liu Li showed no guilt whatsoever. She pointed at my face and cursed. After all these years, it seems you have forgotten the rules of this family. Apologize to your brother immediately. Promise you will never see anyone from the Shen family again. The warmth in my eyes slowly faded, leaving only icy coldness. It seemed my final warning that day had meant nothing to her. Did she still see me as that meek, ignorant boy who always bowed to Ling Fan, since reason would not work? Then do not blame me for showing no mercy. Ling Fan watched from the side. A surge of smug satisfaction rose within him. When they were children, Ling Yu had groveled before Ling Fan. He never talked back when Ling Fan insulted him, and never fought back when Ling Fan hit him. After Ling Yu moved away, they met again at university. Ling Yu was still that pathetic poor boy, yet he dared hold his head high before Ling Fan. A few years without a beating, and he had forgotten his place. Today, Liu Li would teach Ling Yu a lesson. Just as Ling Fan thought that, he saw me slowly walk up to him. As his lips curled upward, thinking I was about to apologize, I suddenly looked up. My fist slammed hard into his face. Ling Fan's head spun. The blow left him dazed. Liu Li charged over with an enraged roar. Ling Yu, how dare you hit him? I abruptly turned my head. A murderous aura radiated from me. My appearance left Liu Li frozen in shock. What are you going to do? You ungrateful wretch. I am your mother. Are you going to raise a hand against me too? My voice was icy as I enunciated each word. You have never been a loving mother. So, do not blame me for being an unfilial son. From now on, stay out of my life. If you do anything to me again, I will make Ling Fan pay double. I withdrew my gaze. I gave Professor Wen a deep bow. I thanked him for looking after me these past 4 years, and said I would return once I had resolved this matter. With that said, I turned and left without hesitation. Only after I disappeared from the room did Liu Li slowly come back to her senses. I had just stepped outside the campus gates when Ji Yu called. Boss, I found out. I know why Shen Youchu claims to be married publicly, yet does not recognize you. The Shen family may look powerful and prosperous, but their internal conflict has been fierce these past few years. The old master favors his eldest son's family and wants to hand the Shen family to the eldest branch. As the youngest daughter, Shen Youchu has always been suppressed. A few years ago, the old master picked several men for Shen Youchu, all unreliable, intending to arrange a marriage alliance. The conflict became a complete mess, until Shen Youchu said she had already registered her marriage to a husband from an ordinary family. The matter was finally dropped, and that husband of hers is quite interesting. He has never appeared in public, nor attended any Shen family banquet. Taking all that together, there is only one truth. That is, Ji Yu drew out the words, trying to build suspense. But before she could reveal the answer, I had already understood. Did you find her schedule and contact information? Ji Yu was caught off guard and replied awkwardly. Her schedule for the next few days. I will send it to you shortly. I could not find her private number. It is fine. I'll intercept her myself. For someone of Shen Yuchu's status, her private number would be closely guarded. It is normal that you could not find it. Ji Yu immediately asked, eager for gossip. She is surrounded by bodyguards. She will not be easy to approach. Are you planning to take forceful measures, or keep a low profile for now? A roguish smile tugged at my lips. Outside Shen Group headquarters, I straightened my courier uniform. Carrying a parcel, I walked in and told the receptionist, this delivery is for Miss Shen. She needs to sign for it personally. After the receptionist called the secretarial office, I was allowed upstairs. I took the private elevator to the 88th floor. The moment I stepped out of the elevator, the view opened up before me. An entire secretarial department, with more than 100 people working there, served Shen Youchu alone. I followed the secretary who came to meet me to the chief executive officer's office. I knocked on the door. A pleasant voice came from inside. Come in. Just when I thought I would finally see Shen Youchu, someone suddenly blocked my path. Stop. Liu Qiang frowned as he looked me over. Mr. Ling? Why is it you? Liu Qiang looked displeased. He still remembered me harassing Shen Youchu at the Ling residence yesterday. Shen Youchu had not held it against me. Yet today, I had the nerve to push my luck by pretending to be a courier and coming to pester her again. He waved over to bodyguards. What is going on? Without checking identities, are you letting any random nobody onto the top floor? Throw him out immediately. My expression did not change. What do you mean by that? Does Shen Group look down on couriers? Liu Qiang sneered. You really know how to twist things around. We respect every profession, but are you really a courier? Do you have a courier identification card? The moment Liu Qiang finished speaking, an identification card was thrust in front of him. His face stiffened. Do not tell me you only registered today. The identification card was opened before him. Its registration date was clearly displayed. Liu Qiang was stunned. 8 years ago. You really are a courier? Is there anything wrong with working while studying? My voice was lazy as I called into the office. Miss Shen, can you cooperate with my work now? A pleasant voice came from inside. Let him in. I shot Liu Qiang a provocative glance, seeing he was about to lose his temper. I finally walked around him and entered. Shen Yuchu's office had a minimalist luxury style, making the place feel utterly cold. After finishing the documents in her hand, Shen Youchu finally looked up. There was not a trace of emotion in her cold, detached eyes. I pointed to the delivery slip. Miss Shen, sign here. Her gaze paused on me for a moment. Then she picked up her pen and signed. Then I suddenly said something shocking. Miss Shen, you are not married at all, are you? The woman's pen froze abruptly. She looked up, her icy gaze locking onto me. I knew I had guessed right. When marriage registrations are filed, personal information must be filled in by hand. There is no way it could be wrong. Yet Shen Youchu publicly claimed to be married, while not recognizing me at all. After months of investigation, the only explanation was that Shen Youchu, to fend off her family's pressure to marry, had invented a fake husband for the public. She had never gone to the marriage registry, so she did not know we were legally married. I said earnestly, Miss Shen, I know this sounds unbelievable, but we really are married. Shen Youchu slowly sat up straight with poise. A trace of amusement appeared on her face. Mr. Ling, do not waste your time. Even if I were unmarried, I would never marry you just to discuss Shen. I paused, slightly stunned. She only knew about my past with Shen. She thought I had come to her for revenge, which was why she had never believed me. I hurriedly explained, I did not come to you because of Shen. I came because I want a divorce. I have no interest in your messy relationship. Shen Youchu cut me off. She swiftly signed the slip and handed it back to me. Do not harass me again. Otherwise, do not blame me for being ruthless. That made my temper flare too. Have you not already been ruthless with me? You even said you would make me disappear from hiking. Shen Youchu frowned. When did I? Before she could finish, her phone suddenly rang. It was her special ringtone for her grandmother. She answered immediately. The caregiver's voice came through the line. Miss Shen, Madam has gone missing again. Shen Youchu rushed out anxiously. I wanted to follow and clear things up, but Liu Qiang blocked me again. Mr. Ling, I advise you to stop here. And so, I was escorted out of Shen Group. Just as I reached my front door, I suddenly turned around. There stood the elderly woman I had met last time, sneaking behind me on tiptoe. I looked utterly helpless. Just as I was about to speak, the little old lady grabbed my wrist. Grandson-in-law, do not think you can leave me behind again. Inside my rented apartment, the old lady sat at the dining table and drank 3 glasses of water in a row. I frowned and said seriously, I really am not your grandson-in-law. You are. The little old lady hugged her glass stubbornly and gulped down another. I knew there was no reasoning with her, so I took out my phone and dialed the number from last time. It was answered after 1 ring. Hello. The woman's voice sounded vaguely familiar. Just as I was about to speak, the old lady suddenly snatched away my phone. Meanwhile, Shen Youchu was leading a group searching nearby. She looked perfectly composed, but inwardly, she was anxious. Her grandmother did not only have Alzheimer's disease. At 87 years old, her organs had long begun to deteriorate. Her life could be in danger at any moment. The instant her phone rang, she answered it immediately. Then she heard her grandmother's strong, lively voice. You brat. Do not come get me. I am with my grandson-in-law. The number belonged to that young man from last time. So grandma was with him again. Shen Youchu asked darkly. Where are you? I am not telling you. You think I cannot find you if you do not tell me. You are not allowed to come looking for me. And do not send anyone to track me down. Shen Youchu scratched her head, covering the receiver. She quietly asked the attending physician. Given Madam's condition, can we bring her back by force? The doctor shook his head and replied softly. Madam cannot endure any stimulation right now. It would be best to go along with her wishes. That young man from last time does not seem like a bad person either. Shen Youchu looked helpless. She coaxed her over the phone again. Grandma, I still need to bring you your medicine. No need to bring medicine. I have it with me. Do not worry. Just wait obediently while I trick my grandson-in-law into coming home. Having said that, the little old lady hung up at once. She returned my phone, looking immensely pleased with herself. Grandson-in-law. All settled. I was completely bewildered. What kind of irresponsible family was this? They had simply left an elderly woman with a stranger. Just as I was about to call back, my WeChat notification chimed. Someone had added me using my phone number. The note said she was the old lady's granddaughter. I accepted her friend request. The granddaughter quickly sent a message. Please take care of my grandmother for a while. Her health has been poor lately, and she cannot be upset. I gave a cold laugh. Holding my phone, I began typing a cold reply. This isn't convenient. This is not a charity. Before I could finish typing, I suddenly heard movement in the kitchen. I hurried over. The old lady was boiling an egg. I casually asked, Are you hungry? An egg will not be enough. A kind smile spread across the little old lady's wrinkled face. Grandson-in-law, put this egg on your face. It will reduce the swelling. I froze. Perhaps I had not even realized it myself. After my biological mother slapped me today, I may have seemed not to care, but a chill had actually surrounded me the whole time, cutting me off from the world. But the old woman's words now melted that chill away, and warmth returned to my eyes. When I looked back at my phone, I saw the granddaughter's chat window suddenly light up in orange. A transfer of 300,000 yuan had arrived. The note read, 1 week's living expenses. Tell me if it is not enough. I looked at the message I had been typing and rewrote it. Fine. I did not understand why I had suddenly decided to meddle. It had to be because she was paying too much. Meanwhile, At the Ling residence, Ling Fan's cheek was badly swollen, with a clear fist mark on it. Liu Li lowered her head. That little bastard, Ling Yu, must be jealous that you are going to marry Miss Shen. When your father returns, have him teach that brat a harsh lesson. Just then, Li Xia slowly came downstairs, weakened by illness. Her voice was weak, but her tone resolute. Ling Yu is not that kind of person. You must have done something first to provoke him. Seeing this, Ling Fan, though unwilling, he changed the subject. Could you invite Dr. Yu to teach at Hiking University? Madam Ling immediately refused sternly. Ling Fan, you cannot use a favor to demand repayment. Besides, over all these years, Dr. Yu has done more than enough for our company. Ling Fan was not surprised at all. Hiking University is the best university around here. Perhaps Dr. Yu wants to go there himself. We could help connect him with the school. It would also repay Dr. Yu for all his help over the years. Madam Ling found that reasonable, so she took out her phone and opened WeChat. Then I will ask him. Sitting beside Madam Ling, Ling Fan said, Dr. Yu has done so much for our family. Whatever debt we owed him has long been repaid. Should we host a dinner for him? Would it not be better to ask him in person then? Dr. Yu never refused Madam Ling anything. Once he came, Ling Fan could ask to become his graduate student. Dr. Yu surely would not refuse. Madam Ling was persuaded. She sent Dr. Yu a message on WeChat. Xiao Yu, do you have time to come over? When I saw the message, my heart leaped into my throat. Why did Madam Ling suddenly want to see me? Could her health have worsened? Thinking of Madam Ling's coughing, I was frantic with worry. I got up and headed out. I am free. I will come over now. But just as I was rushing out, Madam Ling's WeChat reply came through. Not right now. I would just like to treat you to a simple meal. Only then did I realize that worry had clouded my judgment, remembering how I was driven out of the Ling family 10 years ago. A bitter smile touched my lips. After all these years, it was time we met again. Then I replied, it should be my treat. Saturday evening at 6. I will see you then. With that, I sent her a restaurant location. After I exited my chat with Madam Ling, I saw that Shen Youchu had sent several messages. They contained instructions for caring for her grandmother. Seeing this, I quietly entered the second bedroom and recorded a short video for Shen Youchu. On a street nearby, two fully equipped luxury vans were parked discreetly. Shen Youchu was working on her laptop from a sofa. Then a WeChat notification sounded. Shen Youchu picked up her phone and looked. Then, on her ever-changing icy face, a trace of surprise appeared. The family doctor immediately asked, has something happened to Madam? Shen Youchu pressed her lips together and showed him the video. Madam lay on a bed with a tiny floral sheet, sleeping peacefully. It was only 9 at night. Usually, it was a blessing if Madam fell asleep before 1 in the morning. That alone would be cause for gratitude. The family doctor looked utterly stunned. Madam really treats this young man differently. If we can have him stay with her, Madam's health will surely improve. Shen Yuchu's gaze darkened. She seemed to be considering something. The next morning, I received a message from Shen Youchu. After our exchanges, Shen Youchu somehow felt as though she were speaking to an old friend. She suddenly asked if she could visit her grandmother tonight. Of course, you are welcome anytime. Then I sent her the exact address. Outside the door, I was waiting, bored out of my mind, when a familiar voice suddenly rang out. I turned and met a familiar face. It was Shen. The face I remembered as gentle and caring was now staring at me darkly. Back in college, I was always alone, while Shen was warm and outgoing. She was always by my side. She was my only friend. But now, things between us were awkward. After a brief hesitation, I spoke. What is it? Shen sneered. Ling Fan told me about your background. Why did you hide it from me? And I, like an idiot, chased someone like you for 4 years. Was that fun for you? It felt as if a huge hand had clenched around my heart. I never imagined 4 years of friendship could be shattered so easily. I took a step back, putting distance between us. But Shen stepped forward and demanded, do you have nothing to explain to me? I gave a mocking laugh. No. Then I turned to leave. Since she looked down on where I came from, I was better off without her friendship. My resolute manner inexplicably irritated Shen. Seeing me get farther and farther away, she grabbed my wrist without thinking. You cannot leave. I turned back to face her. What else? Shen's face tightened. Anger rose inside her. I was clearly the one who let go first. Why did it feel as if I were the one being abandoned? Then her mocking voice rang out again. You are still working odd jobs here, which means you have not found a real job yet, right? Why not become my personal assistant? I shook free of her grip and coldly refused. I am afraid I am not qualified. But Shen persisted. You will not have to do much. I have an apartment near the company. You only need to live there and take care of my daily needs. I will pay you 50,000 yuan a month. Is that enough? My gaze turned icy at once. You want me to be your kept man? Shen scoffed. You would be perfect for that. After all, your mother was a mistress. You grew up watching her, so it runs in the family. I am sure you are a professional at it. Hearing that, I flung her to the ground. I looked down at her coldly. Enough? Yet after getting to her feet, She smiled instead of getting angry. I will give you time to think about it. Come find me whenever you change your mind. Shen left after saying that. I gave a self-mocking smile. That evening, Youchu got off work on time and arrived at an old residential complex in the suburbs. She carried a bag of fruit and knocked on the door at the address from WeChat. Grandma looked very healthy. Only then did Youchu look around, though it was only a 60 square meter two-bedroom apartment, but it was spotless and cozy. Water ran from the bathroom where someone was showering. Youchu jerked her gaze away as if shocked by an electric current. The family doctor followed behind her and was about to enter, but she stopped him. Give me the equipment. Wait in the car. Youchu quickly checked the old lady's blood pressure, blood sugar, heart rate, and more. Perhaps because the old lady had slept well the night before. Every reading was remarkably healthy. The old lady said proudly, "My grandson-in-law takes such wonderful care of me." Seeing was believing. Youchu finally relaxed. Her eyes flicked toward the bathroom again. Then she packed up the equipment. Since you are all right, I will be going now. The old lady was startled. Will you not stay for dinner? My grandson-in-law is an excellent cook. It would not be appropriate. Youchu set down the medical equipment. Leave this here. The old lady's eyes shifted mischievously. Take it with you. My grandson-in-law will not know how to use it. And I do not want Dr. Xiaofeng coming here. I want you to come examine me every day. Just as Youchu was about to speak, the water in the bathroom suddenly stopped. She immediately stood up. Grabbing her medical case, she hurried out. I will be going now. I will come back tomorrow. The moment the door closed, I came out of the bathroom, fully dressed. Where is your granddaughter? She left. She said it was not appropriate. She is just a proper, and she always has that sour expression. Grandson-in-law. Is that why you do not like her? She can change all that. I am not your grandson-in-law. Yes, you are. I was instantly at a loss. Over the past 2 days, I found the old lady very kind. She indulged me in everything, except she was stubborn about this one thing. A few days later, the old lady suddenly said she wanted to go home for some clothes. So I messaged her granddaughter and asked for the address. But when I opened the location, I froze. Manor number 1. Was that not the Shen estate? It was Haiqin's most famous wealthy neighborhood. I thought the old lady lived in one of those villas. I never dared connect it to the Shen family. But when we arrived, I looked up at the antique-looking, imposing black gates carved with intricate patterns and hesitated. Grandma, is this your home? The old lady looked sleepy, her gaze slightly vacant. Grandson-in-law, I cannot remember. With no other choice, I messaged her granddaughter. She replied at once. Wait right there. I will be there soon. Before long, a luxury car stopped in front of us. Ling Fan and Liu Li got out of the backseat and rushed toward us. Liu Li frowned deeply and said coldly, "It is you after all. What are you doing here today?" As Ling Fan's housekeeper, she had accompanied him to visit the Shen family. From afar, she had seen someone wandering outside the Shen family gates. She had not expected it to really be me. Ling Fan looked at the tightly shut Shen gates. Ling Yu, you are here to harass Miss Youchu again? The moment he said that, Liu Li shouted furiously. You beast, do you even know what day this is? Get out of here now. If you ruin Ling Fan's engagement, I will make you pay. I was sick to death of them, but the old lady was here, and I did not want a confrontation, so I suppressed my impatience and explained. I was taking her home and took a wrong turn. Ling Fan blurted out, "Is she not your wife's grandmother? How could she possibly live in this neighborhood?" I shot back, "Why is that impossible?" But Liu Li viciously cursed at me. Who are you trying to fool? How could your broke wife's grandmother possibly live here? She looked straight at the old lady. You old hag, tell me, which villa do you live in? I frowned at that. Just as I was about to speak, the old lady suddenly stood up. I remember now. I live right here. Grandson-in-law, come home with me. She pulled me by the hand toward the Shen estate gates. We were still 100 meters from the gates, but after just 2 steps, Ling Fan spoke up. Ling Yu, after making so many excuses, you are still using this old lady as a shield to get into the Shen estate. I stopped short. I stared sharply at the Shen estate ahead. When I saw those imposing gates, I had my suspicions, but I could not connect the granddaughter from WeChat. That polite young woman, with the cold, heartless Youchu. Maybe the old lady had remembered wrong. Just as I was about to confirm it, Liu Li suddenly charged over, reaching for the old lady. Do not cause trouble at the Shen estate. I was startled. I shielded the old lady with one hand, grabbed Liu Li with the other, and shoved her away. What are you doing? Liu Li staggered backward. Once she found her footing, she immediately cursed me as an ungrateful wretch. You dare hit your own mother over some old hag? I am calling the police. I ignored her and quickly looked at the old lady. The old lady had never been insulted like that. Sure enough, she was trembling all over with rage. One hand clutched her chest, and her body shook uncontrollably. I hurriedly supported her, then pulled a bottle of fast-acting heart pills from her pocket. But when I opened the bottle, it was empty. My pupils contracted. The old lady was in frail health, unless there was absolutely no other choice. CPR would be too risky for her. Medication was the best option. I looked sharply at the gates. The Shen family had to have medicine. Even if she was not one of them, she was still their neighbor. They would not leave her to die. I picked up the old lady, but Ling Fan seized my arm. Ling Yu, do not do this. The Shen family will not let you in. He looked at the old lady, a sinister gleam flashing in his eyes. At that moment, I was mad with rage. Overwhelming fury churned in my eyes. I kicked him to the ground. But the next instant, someone tightly wrapped their arms around my leg. Liu Li sat on the ground, clinging to me with all her strength, without a shred of dignity. I trembled with fury, but with the old lady in my arms, I could not break free. Just then, a black Bentley slowly pulled up. Youchu stepped out and demanded sharply, "What are you doing?" Ling Fan quickly said, "Miss Shen, it is Ling Yu. He insists on bringing a dying old woman to stage a scam at the Shen estate. It is my fault for failing to stop him." Hearing that, when Youchu saw that I was holding her grandmother, her pupils suddenly shrank. She strode toward us. Her grandmother was the person closest to her. The old woman's health had deteriorated year after year. Youchu was clearly panicking. I had no time to explain. I hurriedly said, "The old madam is having a heart attack. She has just run out of her medicine. Give her medicine in time, and she will be fine." Youchu pressed her lips together. She took her grandmother from me and ran into the Shen estate without looking back. I could not follow her in, because Liu Li was still clutching my leg. Ling Fan was still suspicious of the old lady's identity. Liu Li finally let go of me, brushed off the dust, and sneered. "Was this not exactly what you were counting on? Is this not why you dragged that old hag to the Shen estate?" Just then, the Shen estate gates opened. Shen walked out. Ling Fan wore a fawning smile. Shen, you could have waited for me in the parking lot. Why did you come all the way to the gate?" Shen forced a gentle smile. "I was worried you would get lost on your first visit." Then she looked at me. Her earlier gentleness instantly turned sinister. "Ling Yu, have you thought it over?" I kept a grim face and said nothing. "If you have, you could have just called me. Who gave you permission to come to the Shen estate? Do you think a bastard like you can enter through these gates?" Shen sneered. "But if you truly want to have a look inside, you may." Shen, you misunderstand." Ling Fan interrupted. "Ling Yu was waiting here for his wife's grandmother. The old lady suddenly had a heart attack, and Miss Youchu carried her inside for emergency treatment." Shen's eyes suddenly reddened. She gritted her teeth and said, "What wife?" "Ling Yu. Who is that woman?" I looked at her mockingly. Shen, who my wife is has nothing to do with you. How is it none of my business? I want to see, without my approval, who would dare marry you?" Ling Fan hurriedly answered, "According to Ling Yu's mother, she is some delinquent girl." Shen clenched her fists. "You would degrade yourself like this?" "Fine, a bastard and a delinquent. You really are a perfect match." Ling Fan continued to stir the pot. "Ling Yu must be unwilling to accept it too. That is he keeps harassing Miss Youchu." I gave a cold scoff. "Ling Fan, you call yourself the Ling family's eldest young master. Why is your mind always in the gutter? Is there nothing else in there?" Ling Fan's expression stiffened, and he clenched his fist. "I know you are doing this to get revenge on Shen and me. But Miss Youchu is already married. You should not destroy someone else's marriage." Shen was furious when she heard this. For the past 2 days, she had been waiting for my call, thinking that if I gave in and begged, she might let me off the hook. But I had already found someone else. At that thought, she grew even angrier. I knew it. Why else would your wife's grandmother have a heart attack outside my home? You came here to find my aunt. Ling Yu, how can you be so shameless? Fuming, she pointed at me and ordered the guard. "Did you get a good look? Remember that face. Do not let him set foot in the Shen estate again." Ling Fan lowered his head, hiding his smug smile. At the Shen family gates, Shen still had some say. But the next moment, the Shen family's head butler emerged from inside. His gaze swept over everyone. Then he came to me. "Mr. Ling Yu, Miss Youchu invites you inside." Ling Fan froze. Shen was dumbfounded. I raised my head and looked at the guard with a knowing half-smile. "So, may I go in now?" The guard cautiously glanced at Shen, then opened the gates without hesitation. He knew perfectly well who truly called the shots in the Shen family. Once inside the estate, Shen and the others followed behind. Liu Li glared at me. "Miss Youchu probably only asked you to pick up your grandmother. Once you have her, leave at once if you know what is good for you. Do not dirty the Shen family's carpets." With that, we all entered the living room. At a glance, we saw Madame Shen seated upright in the place of honor on the sofa. The old lady glared furiously at them. "You wicked woman, who did you call an animal?" The old lady had changed into a luxurious outfit, but her complexion was still poor. Youchu sat icily at her left. Liu Li stood there, stunned. Ling Fan's legs went weak, and he nearly collapsed. Luckily, Shen caught him. What is wrong with you? Even Ling Fan's hands were shaking. He suddenly gave a bitter smile. Ling Yu, why did you lie to us? You said Madame Shen was your wife's grandmother, causing us to disrespect her. In an instant, I felt several suspicious gazes in the room turn toward me. Liu Li caught on as well. You knew Madame Shen has dementia, yet you dared deceive her. What do you take the Shen family for? Get on your knees and apologize at once. My gaze darkened. Were they trying to pin all the blame on me? Ling Fan used the chance to clear his own name. What a clever move. Smack. The old lady hurled a teacup at her. It struck Liu Li directly. Scalding tea spilled all over her. But Liu Li did not dare cry out. Insolent fool. Madame Shen snapped angrily. He is my granddaughter's husband. But Liu Li endured the pain of the burn and said, Madame Shen, he has deceived you. I am certain his wife is a delinquent. There is no need to argue. Why not ask the person involved? Shen's mother spoke up from the side. Youchu, is he really your husband? I silently looked at Shen Youchu. Then I heard the answer I had expected. No. What an ungrateful woman. Repaying kindness with betrayal. Anger flashed through my eyes. Ling Fan looked delighted and immediately sighed in relief. Liu Li curled her lip and said, I told you. This was all Ling Yu's scheme. I sneered. Just as I was about to speak, the woman's voice rang out again. Grandma mistook him for her grandson-in-law. So I asked Ling Yu to care for Grandma for a while. Everyone fell silent. No one expected this turn of events. After a long pause, Ling Fan lowered his head. So that is what happened. Ling Yu, why did you not tell us the truth? Had you said so sooner, this misunderstanding would never have happened. Mr. Ling Fan. Shen Youchu leaned back on the sofa. Her posture was relaxed, but her voice carried immense authority. When trouble comes, you hide behind others and dodge responsibility. Is that how the Ling family raises its younger generation? Those words made Madame Shen see through it. She immediately roared. Do you think that because my mind is not always clear, I cannot see through your little tricks? You make a mistake and refuse to repent, then try to shift the blame. You do truly have no shame. Madame Shen looked directly at Shen. Break off the engagement. I will not recognize him as my great-granddaughter's husband. Ling Fan shuddered. He had worked so long to secure this marriage. He could not let it end like this. He then looked at Shen, only to find her staring blankly. Her eyes remained fixed on me. Clearly, she had not recovered from the shock that I was married. Ling Fan clenched his fists. With his head lowered, he walked up to Shen. Shen, this is my fault. Do not worry. Even if the engagement is called off, I will still introduce you to the person I promised. Shen came back to her senses. Ling Fan was still going to introduce her to Dr. Yu. In China's new energy sector, Dr. Yu was one of the leading figures. She hurriedly said to Madame Shen, Great-grandma, Ling Fan should not be blamed for what he did not know. Please forgive him. Besides, the two families have already exchanged the betrothal gifts. It would be difficult to call off the engagement now. Madame Shen gave her a deep look. Do as you wish. Her great-granddaughter's affairs were for her parents to decide. She did not want to interfere further. But Shen's mother smiled and said, Grandma, have you forgotten the welcome gift? At that, Madame Shen lowered her eyelids. I will have someone transfer 180,000 yuan to Shen. Shen's mother's expression stiffened. But did you not say you would give the young couple 2% of the shares? You were worried they would be short on money as newlyweds. If there was one richest person in the Shen family, it was undoubtedly Madame Shen. She came from a powerful family in Jingdu. Her dowry was substantial, and she controlled 20% of the Shen family shares. Shen's mother had long wanted to use this marriage to get a hefty sum from her. It had all been agreed upon, but Madame Shen changed her mind at the last minute. Madame Shen looked at her with a faint, unreadable smile. I am not satisfied with this great-grandson-in-law, so I will not give it to them. Ling Fan went deathly pale. He felt utterly humiliated. There were plenty of servants in the Shen household. Word of this would surely spread. Soon, all of Hiking would know that Madame Shen despised him. Prestigious families care most about appearances. Today, Madame Shen had truly taken his dignity and ground it beneath her feet. But the little old lady did not care about any of that. After saying that, she grabbed my hand and took Shen Youchu and me to her courtyard. Then she made an excuse to leave, telling Shen Youchu to take good care of her grandson-in-law. She hurried away with the others. In the blink of an eye, only Shen Youchu and I remained in the courtyard. Shen Youchu and I stood side by side in the night. As I wondered how to begin, Shen Youchu suddenly looked at me. Her eyes were full of disdain. You look like you could use a good beating. I refused to back down. I stared back at her seriously. You silly girl. Shen Yuchu's face turned livid. He had even sweet-talked Grandma into saying that. His intentions really were far from pure. Maybe Grandma clinging to him was an accident. There was no sign of a scheme there. But this man's kindness in taking Grandma in might be because she had accidentally revealed her identity. I snapped back at her, but I had not forgotten why I was here. I remember you said in your text that you would do me a favor. Can you come with me to the Civil Affairs Bureau to check our marriage status? Shen Yuchu's expression darkened. She answered sharply, impatiently. Fine, we will go. But if it is not real, do not use grandma to keep harassing me. The little old lady poked her head out the window. You brat, are you bullying my grandson-in-law? Shen Youchu's expression froze at once. No, dinner was simple. 4 dishes and a soup, just enough for 3 people. But the little old lady had little appetite. After only a few bites, she put down her chopsticks. Grandson-in-law, I am tired. Let us go home. Please do not push yourself. You should rest at home tonight. This little courtyard was like a miniature nursing home. It had every kind of medical equipment, but the old lady nervously grasped my hand. Can you stay and keep me company? Frowning, I glanced at Shen Youchu. Truthfully, I was worried about the little old lady too, but that bitch despised me so much. She suspected I was using the old lady to get close to her. She would surely refuse. Shen Youchu was silent for a moment. You can. Then she gave me a meaningful look. Clearly, she agreed only for grandma's sake, warning me not to get any ideas. After dinner, I took the old lady back to her room. She must have been truly exhausted today. She had suffered another episode too. The moment she lay down, she drifted into a groggy sleep. She slept very restlessly. Helpless, I could only sit beside her bed. Outside the window, Shen Youchu looked grave. What is wrong with grandma? The family doctor had studied psychology. She sighed. I do not know why Madame Shen has become so attached to this young man, but I can more or less guess why she is so anxious and so afraid her grandson-in-law will leave. Then the family doctor looked at Shen Youchu again. Madame Shen probably feels she will not make it through this year. She fears that once she is gone, you will have no one left to anchor you. Her grandson-in-law is the only person she can leave behind to stay with you. Shen Youchu was slightly stunned. In her dark eyes, uncontainable emotions churned. Only after a long while did they settle again. She stood in the moonlight, as if she might melt completely into the darkness behind her. After an unknown amount of time, she suddenly turned around and strode toward the main residence. Ling had a miserable dinner. He had just lost 2% of the shares. Shen's mother, Liu Mijin, was deeply dissatisfied. Every word she spoke to him was barbed. Is Ling Yu not your family's illegitimate son? How could he win over the old lady, while you could not? Ling Fan could only lower his head and apologize. Annie, I am not as smooth-talking as Ling Yu. Liu Mijin scoffed. I do not care how you do it. You must get those 2% of shares back from me. Otherwise, do not dream of marrying into the Shen family. Ling Fan had grievances he could not voice. Once dinner finally ended, he was finally able to say his goodbyes. But before he could leave, Shen Youchu returned. The moment she entered, her powerful presence filled the room. After she swept her eyes over the cold leftovers on the table, her expression grew even colder. Grandma had barely eaten anything tonight, yet they were here enjoying themselves together. Liu Mijin saw her expression and did not dare speak. It was Shen's father, Shen Yuanji, who frowned and asked, Youchu, why are you here? Shen Youchu ignored her nominal older brother. Her gaze settled on Ling Fan. Since the engagement has not been called off, he is now considered part of the Shen family, right? And as a member of the Shen family, he must follow the Shen family's rules. He defied an elder today. He will kneel outside the ancestral hall all night, without allowing any argument. Shen Youchu beckoned behind her. The bodyguards stepped up to Ling Fan. Young Master Ling, this way. Ling Fan looked pleadingly at Shen, but she did not dare challenge the authority of the woman who truly held power in the family. He took a deep breath. He could only follow the bodyguards. Before he left, he heard Shen ask, and Youchu, where is Ling Yu? Has he left? Then came Shen Yuchu's warning reply. He is my guest. He is staying at the Shen residence tonight. Ling Fan followed the bodyguards to the ancestral hall. Miss Shen said, you are not married yet, so you cannot enter the Shen ancestral hall. Kneel outside instead. Outside was a floor of cold blue bricks. Ling Fan wanted to protest, but the 2 bodyguards stood with their hands behind their backs, watching him coldly. The night was bitterly cold. Ling Fan shivered uncontrollably. Bone-deep cold seeped from his knees into his bones. He wanted to slack off, but the 2 bodyguards watched him like stone sentinels. They said nothing, yet they were terrifying. When I woke the next day, I was already lying in bed. A little pink blanket was draped over me. It did not match the little old lady's room at all. I did not think much of it. After getting up and washing up, I had breakfast with the little old lady and Shen Youchu. There was a plate of fried sweet cakes on the table. The little old lady immediately picked one up. Shen Youchu frowned. Grandma has high blood sugar. She should not eat anything so oily and sweet. Just as she wondered how to stop her, she heard me say calmly, Grandma, these sweet cakes are not good for you. Then the greedy, stubborn little old lady put the sweet cake in my bowl. She smiled ingratiatingly. Grandson-in-law, I picked it for you. Shen Youchu gave me a scrutinizing look. She could not understand why Grandma listened to me so obediently. Without ceremony, I began eating the sweet cake. Then I looked at Shen Youchu. By the way, when we go to the Civil Affairs Bureau, you will need your identification and household register. The little old lady asked curiously, what are you going to the marriage registry for? Our marriage certificates are missing. But the moment I said that, the little old lady spoke up. They are not missing. She hurried into the bedroom and soon returned with 2 red marriage certificates. She handed them to Shen Youchu and me. I stared dumbfounded at the certificate in my hand. Then I suddenly realized, the first time she met me, Grandma had called me her grandson-in-law. She had known all along that we were married. I felt I had found a clue, and immediately asked Grandma, how did you end up with these certificates? The little old lady froze. Her eyes grew slightly unfocused. I cannot remember. Then how did Miss Shen and I get married? The little old lady kept shaking her head. I do not remember. I grew anxious. Grandma, please try to remember. Enough? Shen Youchu scoffed. She stepped between Grandma and me. Her gaze on me was ice-cold. Mr. Ling, these certificates are fake. What next? Are you going to say we no longer need to visit the marriage registry? So this was your plan all along. First, you used a trip to the marriage registry as a respectable excuse to keep pestering me. Then you baited Grandma into bringing out these fake certificates, so she would believe they were real. There was a faint murderous edge in her voice. I found it utterly absurd. We do not have to go today. After all, a divorce cannot be settled with one visit to the registry. For 2 years, we have been legally married. There are plenty of property division issues involved. We need to sign a divorce agreement first. No. After saying that, Shen Youchu watched me closely. I only paused in surprise, before saying helplessly, as you wish. Was his acting simply that good? Or were the marriage certificates real? Shen Youchu suddenly was not so sure. She grabbed the certificates and headed out first. I will wait in the parking lot. I gave Grandma a reassuring smile. We had just reached the parking lot when we saw Liu Li supporting a pale-faced Ling fan. The moment he saw me, she rushed over self-righteously. You have to help your brother. Ling Yu, you are an illegitimate son, but the Ling family overlooked your birth and raised you. Even if you will not credit their merits, you should acknowledge their hardship. You should repay the Ling family. I had heard this brainwashing nonsense for 20 years. Now, it only seemed laughable. Seeing I remained silent, Liu Li pressed on. You are grown up now. You finally have a chance to repay the Ling family. Doesn't Madame Shen listen to you? Go ask her to return those 2% of shares to your brother. I suddenly laughed. I am only a lowly illegitimate son. Why would old Madame Shen ever listen to me? Liu Li froze. She wanted to say more, but I had already strode past her and climbed straight into Shen Yuchu's car. The car soon reached the marriage registry. The moment it stopped, Yaoguang rushed up in a panic. Boss, the driver said you left by yourself. I was so worried that I followed your location here. Did something happen? Shen Youchu was characteristically terse. Why are you here? Has Ling Yu really pestered you into becoming paranoid? Do not worry. I told you, he will never see you again. Otherwise, I will livestream myself eating shit. I sat in the backseat, my voice lazy. What is your livestream channel called? Yaoguang stiffened. And so, the 3 of us entered the service hall. Yaoguang asked first. Hello, I would like to ask, can a marriage certificate be issued if one person is absent? Absolutely not, the clerk replied. Yaoguang looked at me mockingly. Did you hear that? You even prepared fake certificates. I am calling the police right now. I will report you for forgery and harassment. But Shen Youchu handed over the certificates. Please check whether these marriage certificates are genuine. After checking the records, the clerk answered, these certificates are genuine. How is that possible? Could you have recorded the information incorrectly? Yaoguang cried out. What nonsense. Marriage is a serious matter. Both applicants must have their identities carefully verified and sign a declaration. I quickly spoke up. May we see our declarations? Shen Youchu nodded as well. Please bring them out. The clerk rose reluctantly. You two really are in sync for a married couple. Fine, I will find them for you. Before long, 2 registration files were placed before us. I looked at the handwriting. It was indeed mine. Yaoguang leaned in and exclaimed, Boss, this really is your handwriting. Shen Youchu fell silent. I turned to the clerk. Hello, could we see the footage from the day we registered? I am sorry, but we only keep recordings for 6 months. The clerk repeatedly assured us that there had been no error in the process. Both parties had to be present to receive the certificates. The 3 of us left the marriage registry. Yaoguang looked lost. Boss, what do we do now? Shen Yuchu's eyes darkened. I raised an eyebrow. Divorce. We spoke in unison again. Yaoguang paused, then asked, So, divorce now. Should we discuss the terms? I will have my lawyer contact you. Talk to my lawyer. For the 3rd time, Shen Youchu and I spoke at once. I laughed and said simply, how about this? Let us first review the divorce agreements drafted by our respective lawyers. If there are any issues, then our lawyers can negotiate. Yaoguang scoffed. Someone like you can afford a lawyer? But Shen Youchu nodded in agreement. I ignored Yaoguang and took out my phone. Miss Shen, let us add each other on WeChat. It will make contacting each other easier. Shen Youchu opened her QR code with a meaningful look. I scan it and our chat opened. The contact name that popped up was plainly Silly Granddaughter. Her face darkened instantly. I was embarrassed too. I had forgotten we had already added each other on WeChat. Under her murderous glare, I cleared my throat. I just picked that name at random back then. I casually changed it to Silly Second Girl. After saying, "See you," I hailed a cab and left. In the cab, I called Jiu. Find the best divorce lawyer. She cannot get a single cent from me. Boss, what exactly is going on with your marriage? Do not tell me both of you lost your memories. I sighed. One person must know what happened. Madam Shen. I frowned. The clinical drug for Alzheimer's needs to be accelerated. Otherwise, it will be too late. When I got home, to my surprise, the little old lady was waiting at the door with a suitcase. Grandson-in-law, you are back. I brought lots of clothes. I paused, then laughed helplessly. That day, Haichin's most prestigious law firm received 2 anonymous requests. Their demands were remarkably identical. The other party could not get a single cent. The junior lawyer grumbled. I have never seen such heartless spouses. But the lawyer chuckled. One agreement to paychecks. Send it to clients. Soon after, in her office, Shen Youchu received my divorce agreement. She had just opened it when Liu Qiang pushed through the door. Boss, the investigation results are in. Ling, you only discovered you were married when he went to register a marriage a few days ago. In the years after he left the Ling family, much of his information cannot be traced. It is very strange. Shen Youchu looked thoughtful. So, you think he is connected to this? His motives are still unknown. Also, the researcher has been elusive. We have not reached him yet. Shen Youchu said nothing. He had no idea that the clinical Alzheimer's drug was precisely what I was developing. That evening, Shen Youchu asked me to come downstairs. She handed me the agreement. I have no objections. Sign it. She expected me to refuse, but I signed without hesitation. We will divorce tomorrow. That's soon. Not soon enough. I grumbled inwardly. My company is still waiting to go public. See you at the marriage registry tomorrow morning. Just then, Madam Shen came downstairs. Her face was pale, and her voice trembled. You are getting divorced? The words had barely left her mouth when her eyes shut, and she collapsed to the floor. Outside the hospital room, the doctor gave a stern warning. Madam Shen cannot suffer any more emotional shock. Do not upset her again, under any circumstances. Shen Youchu sat on a bench, her hands trembling uncontrollably. When Madam Shen woke up, she looked at me, her voice hoarse. Grandson-in-law, I dreamed you and that brat were getting divorced. That is not true, is it? I said nothing, but Shen Youchu spoke from beside me. It is not true. Then do not get divorced. Give me your household registration booklets and marriage certificates. Shen Youchu complied immediately. The little old lady looked at me again. That brat is telling the truth, right? Remembering the doctor's warning, I was silent for a moment. It is true. That night, I sat on the sofa reviewing English research materials. A WeChat message from Silly Second Girl appeared. Once Grandma's condition stabilizes, we will get divorced. I replied, fine. The agreement was signed anyway. We had nothing to do with each other. Shen Youchu sent another message. Do you have any other demands? Once Grandma recovers, we just need to divorce as soon as possible. The little old lady looked at me, then at her, and suddenly said, Brat, I want you to find my grandson-in-law a job at Shen Group. Shen Youchu paused briefly, then agreed. The little old lady brightened. Tomorrow, you will go to work with that brat. I agreed as well. Shen Group had an extensive database, which would be perfect for my research. Then Shen Youchu left with Liu Qiang. In the hallway, Liu Qiang complained, Boss, he is definitely trying to infiltrate the company. Why did you agree? If we do not keep him under our watch, how will he show his true colors? Shen Youchu said coldly. In the hospital room, the old lady beckoned to me. Grandson-in-law, let me tell you a secret. If that brat bullies you, fight back. She may look arrogant and impossible to provoke, but she is afraid of cats. I froze. A girl I knew as a child seemed to be afraid of cats too. Grandson-in-law, do you like cats or dogs? I suddenly realized that I used to like cats too, but that girl did not like them, so neither did I. I soon understood why the little old lady had asked. The next day, on the top floor of Shen Group, an adorable Shiba Inu puppy wagged its tail as it ran circles around me. Liu Qiang was speechless. The job Madam Shen arranged for Mr. Ling. Why was his job to look after this little puppy? Even Shen Youchu did not understand. My job was actually to play with the dog. This was utterly absurd. She ordered, take them to join Team 1 of the New Energy Research and Development Department. She had arranged this long ago. The New Energy Research and Development Department was vital to the group's future. By placing me there, she wanted to see what I might give away. I did not mind. I picked up the puppy and followed Liu Qiang. Does it have a name? Madam Shen wants you to name it. I glanced at Shen Youchu's sour expression. Then I will call it Kitty. In the elevator, Liu Qiang said, the New Energy Research and Development Department is on the 30th floor. Liu Qiang said, Young Master Ling, most employees in Shen Group's Research and Development Department are doctoral candidates. At minimum, They have master's degrees from elite universities. You are the first undergraduate here. Learn well from your seniors here. It will greatly benefit your future. The boss arranged this especially for you. Of course, you do not need to be grateful. It is the boss's reward for winning Madame Shen over. The corner of my mouth twitched. There was really no need. Oh, and your relationship with the boss is not to be made public. It will avoid trouble when you divorce in the future. I looked at him. That is exactly my concern too. Liu Qiang was stunned. This man was actually acting like the boss was not good enough for him. My first day at work was easy. No one assigned me anything. I was happy to take it easy. I played with the puppy in the office. Once it fell asleep, I got up and shut the door. Then I headed straight for the archives on the 60th floor. Only by developing an effective Alzheimer's treatment and helping the little old lady recover her memories could I understand what this absurd marriage was all about. The books here covered cutting-edge knowledge from every field. Some were research materials unavailable anywhere else. I felt a spark of excitement. On the top floor, Shen Youchu received a text from Madame Shen. Grandma's WeChat name had been changed to Grandma must not be upset. Brat, have lunch with your grandson-in-law today. Remember to send me a photo of you two having a cozy lunch together. Shen Youchu sighed helplessly. She pressed the call button. Liu Qiang, prepare the lunches and bring them up. She sent me a message, but I did not reply for a long time. On the 60th floor, I searched through rows of bookshelves. Soon, I spotted Shen staring at me. Absorbed in my search for books, I backed into someone. Sorry. I turned and found Shen watching me with a complicated expression. Ling, you worked so hard to please great-grandma. Was it all to get close to Aunt Youchu? My expression instantly turned cold. That is none of your business. Aunt Youchu has never been interested in men all these years. Do not think that face of yours will let you seduce her. She is not that shallow. She has merely given you some insignificant job to brush you off. I scoffed. So, you are saying you pursued me for so long back then, because you were the shallow one. Shen's eyes reddened. I know you hate me for proposing to Ling Fan, but I had no choice. A marriage alliance between powerful families requires a lot of consideration. My mother even agreed to let me be with an ordinary man. But with your status, there is no way I could marry an illegitimate son. How could I ever hold my head up in the Shen family? I would become the laughingstock of hiking. I looked away. Thank you for not marrying me. Just as I was about to leave, Shen blocked my path. I can arrange for you to work in our team. I will find someone capable to mentor you. I know you are proud. You are so smart. You will learn quickly. I cut off her rambling. What is the condition? Divorce her and be with me. Shen could not accept sharing me with another woman. The very thought of it drove her mad. I answered coldly, you are not worthy. Why do you love that thug wife of yours so much? Believe it or not, I could give her some money, or have someone threaten her, and she would abandon you. How could she possibly compare to me? I gave Shen a once-over. I did not want to hurt your pride, but since you insist on digging for answers, let me tell you, my wife is prettier than you, and she has a better figure too. With that said, I turned to leave, only to see Shen Youchu at the corner. I fell silent. So, did she? Behind me, Shen's gaze darkened. She picked up her phone and called Ling Fan. Aren't you having dinner with Dr. Yu tomorrow afternoon? Take me with you. Meanwhile, Shen Youchu used lunch as an excuse to take me to the top floor. Inside Shen Yuchu's office, she pointed to the dining table beside us. Go ahead and eat. I still felt a little guilty. Judging by her demeanor, she probably had not heard what I said, right? As I pondered that, I heard a phone camera click. Shen Youchu calmly took a picture and sent it to her grandmother. Only then did she come over. I knew why she had taken it, so I did not ask. I only looked at the table and made awkward small talk. Miss Shen, this lunch is quite lavish. She sat down across from me, gracefully picking up her chopsticks. After all, proper nutrition helps one maintain a good figure. I froze. My face turned red. My gaze swept over her snow-white skin. Embarrassed, I packed up a serving of food. Miss Shen, I just remembered. Kitty has not been fed yet. I will be going now. Thank you for lunch. In high spirits, I left carrying the lunchbox. After work, Shen Youchu called her grandmother. Where are you? At the hospital. My chest started hurting again this afternoon. I want to stay a few more days. Brat, are you coming to stay with me tonight? It is fine if you do not. I will just stay here alone, all pitiful and lonely. I will be right there. That is more like it. Oh, right? I have already spoken to my grandson-in-law. He is coming to keep me company too. Come with your grandson-in-law. Shen Youchu rubbed her temple. She understood her grandmother's little scheme. She texted me, I will pick you up after work and take you to the hospital. I replied quickly, no need. I have already called a cab and I am on my way. She wanted to keep her distance, but seeing me avoid suspicion so deliberately, Shen Yuchu's inexplicable irritation grew. Holding the puppy, I entered the inpatient wing. Not far away, Madam Ling had just finished a follow-up examination. Ling Fan supported her by the arm. Is that Ling Yu? Why is he at the hospital? Is he sick? Madam Ling asked hesitantly. Ling Fan bristled inwardly. Madam Shen would not allow anyone to visit, yet she let Ling Yu stay with her. His eyes flickered. He is probably visiting Madam Shen. Ling Yu is so devoted, isn't he? Nanny Nan frowned. Devoted? To whom? He has never come to visit you, madam. And you are still defending him. Young Master Ling Yu is an ungrateful wretch. He has probably forgotten you already. Ling Fan added. I heard Miss Shen found him a job at Shen Group. That is probably why he is repaying Madam Shen. Nanny Nan sneered. Madam raised him too. The debt of raising a child is immense. Yet he does not repay Madam at all. Enough. Stop it. Madam Ling stopped them. Ling Fan sighed theatrically. Mom is kind-hearted, but some people repay even the smallest kindness tenfold. Take Dr. Yu, for example. Mom only gave him a little financial support, but look how much he has helped our family over the years. 3 years ago, the company nearly went bankrupt. Dr. Yu gave us a technology patent outright, and that saved us from disaster. Nanny Nan nodded. Compared to that, Dr. Yu is far better than Ling Yu. I want to know too, what kind of person Dr. Yu really is. Mom, take me with you tomorrow. Madam Ling smiled and patted his head. I will take you. This scene was seen by me from the sofa in the VIP hospital room. My gaze followed Madam Ling. Her face was an unhealthy shade of pale. Ling Fan murmured something at her side. Madam Ling nodded helplessly. The mother and son were intimate. Only after their car drove away did I reluctantly look away. When I turned, the little old lady was standing behind me. Grandson-in-law. Who was that? She looked so familiar. My gaze softened. I was about to speak when her eyes suddenly lit up. I remember now. She is your mother. You look so alike. I paused slightly. In truth, aside from our face shapes, Madam Ling and I did not share similar features. Only our cool, aloof aura was exactly alike. After all, after leaving the Ling family, I would unconsciously study the way she handled things. Over time, I took on some of her bearing. I looked at the little old lady. Grandma, she is not my mother. But the little old lady was utterly certain. She is. Grandson-in-law. How can you refuse to acknowledge your own mother? I did not know whether to laugh or cry. Fortunately, Shen Youchu appeared at the door carrying dinner. The dinner Shen Youchu had prepared was lavish. She had even brought fruit for 3. The moment the little old lady saw it, she immediately frowned. My grandson-in-law cannot eat mangoes. He is allergic to them. My heart jolted. I stared at her in shock. Grandma, how did you know? I really was allergic to them before, but I was desensitized 2 years ago. I had never told her about it. The little old lady smiled. You told me before. You said whenever you ate mangoes, your face broke out in little red bumps. My expression turned grave. When exactly was that? The little old lady grew confused again. I think you told me before you got married. A storm raged inside me. I was certain I had not known her before the marriage, and I had never lost my memory. I hurriedly pressed her. What else do you remember? For instance, how Miss Shen and I got our marriage certificate. The little old lady shook her head, saying she could not remember. I noticed Shen Youchu studying me. Her face was icy. I knew she must think I was plotting something again. I could not clear my name even if I jumped into a river. I picked up the Shiba Inu. Grandma, you two eat first. I will take the dog for a walk. I hid at the end of the hallway, quietly watching the hospital room. Before long, Shen Youchu came out after me. Do you have something to say? Young Master Ling, I thought you would want me to explain something. Then, is there anything you wish to explain? Young Master Ling, I answered seriously. About what Grandma said happened before our marriage. I truly do not know what is going on. Something this private is not something the little old lady could make up. I thought she would question me, but she simply replied calmly, I'm confused. Miss Shen, believe me. Shen Youchu stepped closer, her voice icy. Young Master Ling, I do not care whether you have an ulterior motive. If you can keep Grandma happy, then I promise to keep you safe. I understood. She did not care about the truth. As long as Grandma was happy, she could even turn a blind eye to every scheme of mine and let it slide. She added threateningly, if you hurt Grandma, I will make sure you cannot stay in hiking. I gave a cold laugh. Has Miss Shen not already done that? Shen Youchu frowned and was about to speak when Professor Wen's voice suddenly rang out. Ling Yu. Professor Wen approached, his voice hoarse. I was just about to call you to ask whether you had found a job. Have you cleared up the misunderstanding with Miss Shen? Miss Shen is downright heartless. Why is she holding this against you so relentlessly? Canceling your guaranteed graduate school admission was bad enough, and then she threatened to make you disappear from hiking. Beside me, Shen Youchu looked utterly baffled. I shot him an amused look. Do not worry. Professor, it has been resolved. It was a misunderstanding. Miss Shen is actually quite nice. Not only did she arrange a job for me, she also promised to keep me safe. Shen Youchu's face darkened. Professor Wen sighed in relief. Then he looked at Shen Youchu and asked without thinking, "Is this the thug wife you mentioned?" Shen Youchu's face went completely dark. My smile only deepened. You could say that. Professor Wen earnestly told Shen Youchu, "You are such a pretty young woman. You should work hard and find a respectable job." Meanwhile, in the Ling family dining room, Ling Zhenin anxiously asked Madame Ling, who had no appetite, "Xia, what is wrong? Are you feeling unwell?" Ling Fan cut in. "Dad, we ran into Ling Yu at the hospital today. Mom is probably worried about him." "Why worry about him?" Ling Fan sighed. "He must hate me now. I am afraid he will say something to Madame Shen, and Miss Shen will take it out on me." Ling Zhenin sneered. "He is the one who offended Miss Shen. What does that have to do with you?" As he spoke, Ling Zhenin's phone rang. It was Shen Youchu's special assistant, Liu Qiang. "Assistant Liu, what brings you to call me? Does Miss Shen have instructions for me?" The voice on the other end was exceptionally cold. "My boss asked me to ask young Master Ling Fan." "When exactly did he say?" "That young Master Ling Yu should disappear from hiking." "How is it that my boss herself knows nothing about it?" Ling Zhenin's expression stiffened. He looked at Ling Fan in disbelief. Liu Qiang left them with one final remark. "The Ling family truly needs to teach its younger generation some manners." With that, he hung up. Beside him, Ling Fan hung his head in silence. "I saw Ling Yu pestering Miss Shen then. I was afraid he would jeopardize my marriage to Sister Shen Shen." "Dad, I did not mean to." Ling Fan defended himself, pale-faced. "Ling Yu is your son too. After all, I was afraid you would not have the heart to punish him." "Foolish boy." Ling Zhenin changed the subject. "How many times have I told you? I have only one son in my heart, and that is you. Who the hell does Ling Yu think he is? How could he ever compare to you?" Madame Ling objected. "Zhenin, Ling Yu is still your son." Ling Zhenin immediately turned to her. "Xia, when Liu Li deceived me back then, I wronged you. I will never acknowledge her son. In my heart, there are only you and our son." Liu Li stood nearby in the role of a maid. Hearing this, she clenched her fist with resentment. She looked at Ling Zhenin, her eyes full of bitterness. This was the man she loved deeply, her childhood sweetheart from next door. But in this man's eyes and heart, there was only Li Xia. After she became pregnant back then, she took the pregnancy test to him and said she could be his mistress, but he ruthlessly drove her away, saying he would not betray his wife. Liu Li had no other choice. She could only go to Li Xia, threatening suicide until she was allowed to stay with the Ling family. All these years, Ling Zhenin had barely spoken to her. He treated Ling Yu as if he did not exist. Fortunately, she had switched the two children. Liu Li lowered her head, forcing down the amusement in her eyes. Ling Zhenin would never know that the son of Li Xia, whom he constantly claimed to cherish most, Ling Fan, whom he had doted on for so many years, was actually her son. As for Ling Yu, he deserved to be ignored and suppressed. Yet Madame Ling shook her head firmly. "Zhenin, Ling Fan was wrong. And wrong is wrong. Our family should apologize to Ling Yu." Ling Zhenin frowned. "Apologize? My son should apologize to Liu Li's son." Liu Li hurriedly added, No need. The Ling family showed him tremendous kindness by raising him. It is only right that you discipline him." Madame Ling looked at them and sighed softly, but did not argue further. When Ling Fan escorted her back to her room, Madame Ling spoke again. "If you have time tomorrow, I will take you to Ling Yu's home to apologize." Ling Fan's expression stiffened. "Do you not want to take Shen Shen to meet Dr. Yu? We can do both tomorrow." Ling Fan's eyes immediately lit up. He linked his arm through hers. "Okay, Mom, you are still the best to me." After he left, Madame Ling looked at the old servant, Nanny Nan. "Nan, my health has been poor these past years. I failed to raise Ling Fan properly. I have truly neglected my duty." "You are overthinking it, madam. Young Master Ling Fan is filial and considerate. He only has a few minor flaws. He can correct them." Madame Ling gave a bitter smile. "Ling Yu never lies." She suddenly broke into a violent coughing fit. Supported by Nanny Nan, she walked toward the bed. That secret still weighed on her until she could barely breathe. The next day, I had been somewhat nervous since waking that morning. I had not seen Madame Ling in 10 years. I did not know whether she would be happy or angry to see me. At noon, I went home to change clothes. The old lady asked Shen Youchu to drive me home. The two left the hospital room. As they came downstairs, Liu Qiang approached. Shen Youchu gave him a nod. Liu Qiang handed me a sheet of paper. "Young Master Ling, please take a look." It listed a number of new energy professors from leading universities across the country. I looked at Liu Qiang in confusion. "These professors are more renowned than Professor Wen. You may choose one to continue your graduate studies under. This is compensation from my boss for revoking your guaranteed graduate placement." "Young Master Ling, Meeting our boss has turned this misfortune into a blessing for you. The corner of my mouth twitched. No need. Do you want to pursue a master's degree under Dr. Yu? Liu Qiang frowned. That may be difficult. Dr. Yu is highly sought after right now. A genius professor like him only takes genius students. I am afraid you will not catch his eye. You should not aim so far above your reach. At worst, after you finish your master's degree, you can apply to study for a doctorate under Dr. Yu. I gave him a look as though he were an idiot. Then I said directly to Shen Youchu, Miss Shen, you do not need to take me home. I will get a cab myself. Shen Youchu watched me leave. Then she suddenly told Liu Qiang, then help him contact Dr. Yu. What? Liu Qiang was dumbfounded. Outside the private restaurant, Madame Ling arrived early with Ling Fan and Shen Shen. Shen Shen pushed open the private dining room door. A tall man's straight-back silhouette met her eyes. He was pouring tea. Hello, Dr. Yu. I am Shen Shen from Shen Group. It is a pleasure to meet you. I turned around, a hint of amusement on my face. Ling Yu, why are you here? Shouldn't I be asking you that? My voice was lazy and casual. Shen Shen's expression turned cold. Relax. I did not come here for you this time. Where is Dr. Yu? Where is he? I said nothing. Madame Ling entered with Ling Fan. The moment Madame Ling saw me, her eyes brimmed with tears. You are Ling Yu. Something stirred in my heart. Madam, have you been well? I am well. Ling Yu, your father told me you are married. Madame Ling held tightly onto my hand. She sighed with deep emotion. A dark glint flashed in Ling Fan's eyes. Ling Yu, we should have invited you to eat with us, but you are working here. It would not be convenient, would it? We will give you a bigger tip later to help with your living expenses. Say no more. Madame Ling scolded him. She hurriedly looked at me. Ling Yu, we have an appointment with Dr. Yu today. You work in New Energy too, do you not? You can meet him with us. It will benefit your future. Afraid I would steal his opportunity. Ling Fan picked up a steaming teacup and walked over to me. Ling Yu, my mother told me to apologize to you yesterday. I will use tea in place of wine and offer you a toast. As he spoke, his fingers loosened. The tea was about to spill all over me. I shifted aside and bumped him. The teacup rebounded onto Ling Fan. The scalding tea made him cry out. Ling Yu, I know you hate me, but how could you do this? He cried indignantly. I lowered my eyes and feigned innocence. Sorry, I did not see it. Shen Shen snapped. Ling Yu, is this how you do your job as a waiter? You injured a customer. Get your manager here immediately. I am filing a complaint against you. Madame Ling defended me. That is enough. Mom, Sister Shen Shen is angry. Let Ling Yu leave first. That way, there will not be another conflict. Madame Ling looked at me apologetically. Ling Yu, come home more often when you have time. When there is another chance, I will take you to visit Dr. Yu. Ling Fan hurriedly changed the subject. Mom, why has Dr. Yu not arrived yet? I answered with a faintly amused smile. He is already here. All three people in the room turned to stare at me. Madame Ling was about to ask more when she suddenly began coughing violently. She collapsed onto the dining table. Madam, I instinctively moved to catch her, but Ling Fan forcefully shoved me away. Get away. What did you do to my mother? Mom, wake up. The ambulance arrived quickly. I tried to get in, but Shen Shen grabbed me. Stay away from Madame Ling, you bastard. If you make her seriously ill from anger, I will never let you get away with it. I took a cab and followed them closely to the hospital. The hallway was packed with people. There were no rooms available. Shen Youchu saw this from upstairs. She instructed Liu Qiang, arrange a hospital room for young Master Ling. After receiving a call, the receptionist immediately announced, a premium hospital room has just become available. Ling Fan was overjoyed. Sister Shen Shen, you really know how to get things done. Shen Shen silently took the credit. The group moved into the hospital room. I followed close behind, but Ling Fan stopped me at the door. Ling Yu, my mother needs peace and quiet to recover. Do not disturb her. The door slammed shut. I stood frozen where I was, anxious beyond measure. I had no right to go in. I could only sit down on a bench. Not long after, a burst of hurried footsteps approached. Ling Zhenin rushed into the room, his face full of worry. After confirming Madame Ling was all right, he pulled Ling Fan outside. Ling Zhenin frowned and asked, what happened? How did she suddenly faint? Ling Fan looked at me, sitting nearby. It was Ling Yu. He insisted on meeting Dr. Yu, then argued with Sister Shen Shen. He upset Mom. Ling Zhenin immediately glared at me. You ungrateful wretch. Without another word, he swung at me. I did not dodge. Madame Ling's pale face filled my mind. Perhaps Ling Fan was right. My very existence was her misfortune. But the pain I expected never came. I opened my eyes. A cool, aloof figure stood in front of me. Shen Youchu was standing there, as if she were holding up the sky for me. Ling Zhenin said in alarm, Miss Shen, what are you doing? Mr. Ling, how you discipline your son is not my place to interfere with. But Grandma likes him now. She would be upset to see young Master Ling injured. Shen Youchu's voice was low and pleasant. Ling Zhenin immediately admitted, I had not considered that. Madame Ling's coughing came from inside the room. Ling Zhenin and Ling Fan immediately went inside. I hesitated outside the door for a long time. Then I heard her weak voice from within. I am fine. Do not worry. I have not slept properly in a long time. When I fainted now, I actually slept very well. Only then did the knot in my heart loosen. Shen Youchu asked, You are not going in? Not for now. Otherwise, there will be another heated argument, and Madame Ling will not get any rest. I replied quietly. Just as I turned around, the little old lady approached, supported by her butler. I heard my grandson-in-law's mother is in the hospital. I came to see her. I took her arm. Grandma, Madame Ling is not my mother. Did I get it wrong? The little old lady took out her phone, found a photo of us together, and handed it to me. Grandson-in-law, you sent this to me before. You said it was you and your mother. Is the woman in the room not the one in this picture? I froze. In the photo, Madame Ling and I sat by the sea, smiling brightly. We looked just like mother and son, but I had not seen her since leaving the Ling family. How could we possibly have a photo together? I enlarged the photo and spotted the clue. It was a poorly doctored photo. When did I send this to you? The little old lady shook her head. I do not remember. Then how did I send it to you? By email or text message? She shook her head again. I cannot remember. I felt helpless, but the little old lady was adamant. Grandson-in-law, she is your mother. You cannot abandon your mother. After seeing the old lady off, Shen Youchu stood in the hallway. Liu Qiang soon came over to report. Boss, I found out what happened. Young Master Ling was working at that private restaurant where he ran into the Ling family. Shen Youchu asked coolly, Is the Shen group paying him that little? Why else would he take a job outside? Not at all. Madam Shen arranged that job for him. Maybe his supervisor gave him work that was too difficult, and he feared being fired. But Shen Youchu did not think it was that simple. What were the Lings doing at that restaurant? They had an appointment with Dr. Yu. Miss Shen went there for that reason as well. And Dr. Yu, he never appeared. A faint glimmer flickered in Shen Yuchu's deep eyes. An absurd thought began taking shape. Inside the hospital room, Madame Ling looked much better after resting. Ling Fan, let Shen go home first. Ling Fan looked embarrassed. Shen had stayed solely to wait for Dr. Yu. Madame Ling understood. Hand me my phone. We should explain to Dr. Yu why we missed today's appointment. After Madame Ling set another appointment, Ling Fan finally walked Shen out. In the hallway, Ling Fen said, Sister Shen, do not worry. There will definitely be no problem with Dr. Yu. There are a few tough people in the Shen Group Research Division who do not respect me. As long as we can bring Dr. Yu on board, I can earn some credit and secure my position. So Dr. Yu is very important to me. You have to persuade him. The two entered the elevator. I stepped out from the corner, then pushed open the door and entered the room. Ling Zhenen's face immediately darkened. What are you doing here again? Get out. Is that Ling Yu? Let him come in quickly. Madame Ling's gentle voice rang out. Ling Zhenen warned me not to upset Madame Ling again. I already told you. Today had nothing to do with Ling Yu. I simply have not slept well for days. Madame Ling mildly scolded him and took my hand. You must have been frightened today, child. Her palm was warm. I smiled and said, No. Come home more often from now on. And your wife. Your mother says she is some little hoodlum, but I do not believe it. Ling Yu has always had good judgment, and he has a mind of his own. Anyone you choose must have their strengths. Bring her to meet me sometime. My nose stung. All right. She began coughing violently again. I took out a plastic bottle. I had someone obtain this cough medicine. Take one pill when you cannot sleep at night. Madame Ling nodded and accepted it. I left the room. Inside, I heard Ling Zhenen scoff. How could you be won over by a bottle of medicine from some unknown little clinic? He casually tossed the bottle into the trash. Late that night, Madame Ling woke coughing again. Her anxiety grew so severe that she thought of ending her life. As if possessed, she retrieved the bottle from the trash and swallowed one pill. A cool sensation instantly soothed her itchy throat. She drifted off to sleep. At 10 the next morning, Ling Zhenen woke Madame Ling. She had slept soundly through the night. Madam, the sleeping pills the doctor gave you yesterday really worked. You slept for a full 10 hours. Nanny Nan's eyes reddened with excitement. What sleeping pills? Madame Ling was bewildered. Nanny Nan looked at Ling Fan. Miss Shen found them for you. She specifically got strong sleeping pills and added them to your medicine. Who would have thought they would actually work? Madame Ling paused. Her throat felt much clearer. Her gaze fell on the unlabeled plastic bottle by her pillow. Ling Zhenen lavishly praised his future daughter-in-law. She is an excellent daughter-in-law. I heard the inpatient wing has been full lately. Shen called in a lot of favors to arrange this hospital room. We have her to thank this time. Ling Fan pressed his advantage. Mom, Sister Shen has been so devoted to you. You should help her too. The family wants Sister Shen to manage the research division, but those researchers do not accept her. If we can invite Dr. Yu to serve as an outside technical advisor, Sister Shen will be able to secure her position. Madame Ling hesitated before saying, Then I will ask Dr. Yu. But if he refuses, let it go. Ling Fan smiled broadly. In his eyes, as long as Madame Ling asked. Dr. Yu had never refused. Madame Ling took out her phone, found Dr. Yu's profile picture, and carefully composed a message. Xiao Yu, are you free? I would like to ask you for a favor. When I received the message, I had just returned from taking the old lady downstairs for a walk. I frowned. What could Madame Ling want with me? Could there be a problem with yesterday's medicine? That medicine was still in clinical trials. She was seriously ill. That was why I took it out ahead of schedule. Growing anxious, I asked the caregiver to take the old lady back to her room, then hurried to Madame Ling's room. I quickly arrived at the hospital room and found both Shen and Liu there. Their laughter and chatter came to an abrupt stop the moment I entered. I felt out of place. Seeing Madame Ling was fine, I lowered my eyes and prepared to leave. But Liu Li spoke up. Is that not young Master Ling? Now that you have latched onto old Madame Shen, the rest of us are beneath your notice. I turned to leave, but she grabbed me. I heard you are wholly devoted to currying favor with old Madame Shen, cleaning up her filth all night long. Do you think she will treat you like her real grandson? What a ridiculous fantasy. You are nothing but her plaything. Ling Fan quickly said, do not say that. Old Madame Shen values Ling Yu highly. Liu Li raised her voice. How does that count as valuing him? Miss Shen's regard for you. Ling Fan, now that is real respect. She looked at Shen ingratiatingly. I heard there were no rooms available yesterday. Even wealthy families had to wait in line. It was Miss Shen who pulled strings to get Madame Ling into this VIP room. Shen gave me a modest smile. Aunt Youchu did not know about this, or she would have helped to. It was only a small effort. Even if Miss Shen had known, she would not have cared about you. Liu Li mocked me again. No matter how hard you try to please her, she is only toying with you like some stray dog. I clenched my fists, unwilling to argue in the hospital room. Outside the door, Shen Youchu heard every word. Her face turned icy. Liu Qiang instantly understood his boss's intent. He cleared his throat and entered. Madame Ling, I am here on President Shen's behalf to check on you. Are you comfortable in this room? The room fell silent. Everyone looked at Shen. She looked utterly stunned. Liu Li froze, then smiled and said, Miss Shen, so this room was arranged by Miss Shen at your request. Shen's expression stiffened, but Liu Qiang smiled. Mr. Ling asked my boss to arrange it. Miss Shen, did you ask my boss to? Shen was so embarrassed she wanted to disappear into the floor. I made many calls at the time and contacted several people. I misunderstood. Ling Fan clenched his fists, feeling utterly humiliated. Madame Ling broke the awkward silence. Thank you, Miss Shen. I am very comfortable here. Once I am feeling better, I will visit old Madame Shen. Liu Qiang said, as long as you are comfortable here, Mr. Ling will not worry, and our old madam will be happy. He was clearly elevating my status. Everyone else in the room felt their hearts sink, but Madame Ling was sincerely delighted. I glanced at Liu Li, my mockery unmistakable. Liu Li flew into a rage. You little brat, what are you so pleased about? Shut up, Ling Zhenin roared. My wife is ill and needs rest. Why are you barking like a mad dog in here? Get back home. Liu Li shot me a resentful glare, covered her face, and ran away. I looked toward the bed. How did you sleep last night? Madame Ling instinctively gripped the small bottle beneath her blanket. Very well. I have not slept that well in a long time. That is good. I will be leaving now. Liu Qiang and I left the room. Shen Youchu was leaning against the hallway wall, looking at her phone. Light and shadow played across her cool profile. When she saw me emerge, she said, Grandma was worried, so she insisted I come see for myself. Her voice was distant, but my heart filled with warmth. Thank you. The hospital room door opened. Shen and Ling Fan came out. Seeing Shen Youchu and me together, Ling Fan looked as if he faced a formidable enemy. Shen instinctively demanded, Aunt Youchu, why are you here? A pleased glint appeared in Shen Yuchu's eyes. I do not believe I need to report my whereabouts to you. The overwhelming pressure made Shen's palms sweat. She looked at me jealously. Young Master Ling, you have been at the hospital caring for great-grandma. Does your wife not mind? Slightly puzzled, I glanced at Shen Youchu. With a faint smile, I said, she probably does not mind. Shen's face changed dramatically. Shen Youchu suddenly spoke. Going back to the room. Grandma is waiting for you. I smiled lightly. Let us go. We turned and left, leaving Shen with a dark, vicious look in her eyes. She returned to Madame Ling's room. While straightening the bedding, she cried out, why is there a bottle of medicine on the bed? Ling Zhenin frowned. Is that not the unapproved, unlabeled medicine Ling Yu gave you? Xia, why did you retrieve it? I took one pill last night, and it seemed to help, Madame Ling explained. How is that possible? It was clearly the sleeping pills that worked. Ling Zhenin snatched the medicine away. We do not know where he got this medicine. What if it harms your body? Do not throw it away tonight. I will skip the sleeping pills and see which one truly works. Late that night, Madame Ling began coughing violently again, without stopping. Nanny Nan held the sleeping pills everyone had praised as a miracle cure, but found they did not work at all. Madame Ling coughed until her face turned red. Nanny Nan then rushed out to retrieve my medicine. As she was about to give it to Madame Ling, Ling Fang grabbed her hand. Mom, what if this medicine is causing her cough to worsen? Medicine of unknown origin is best left untaken. Ling Zhenin angrily added, that Ling Yu? Xia, you have been so kind to him, yet he brought medicine to harm you. Madame Ling was coughing too hard to speak. She stared intently at Nanny Nan. Nanny Nan was fiercely loyal. Despite the pressure, she put the pill into Madame Ling's mouth. The coughing stopped instantly. Madame Ling let out a long breath. It was certain that Ling Yu's medicine had worked. The group went into the outer room. Ling Fan's face was deathly pale. Dad, Ling Yu actually got hold of a miracle drug. What could he possibly do? He must have asked Miss Shen to get it for him. Ling Zhenin wear upon his brows. It seems old Madame Shen truly values him. Inside the VIP room, Shen Youchu was chatting with her grandmother. What did you have for lunch today? The little old lady thought for a long time. Rice porridge. No. That does not seem right. It was noodles. Right. You little brat. Shen Youchu smiled and nodded, but her heart sank. She had rice for lunch. Grandma had forgotten again. Her memory loss seemed to be getting worse. I suddenly spoke in a lazy tone. Grandma, what color were Miss Shen's earrings yesterday? The little old lady immediately answered. Purple. That little brat is always so particular. She even wore diamond cufflinks. What about the day before? They were blue the day before. I bought her those blue earrings myself. I smiled faintly at Shen Youchu. My meaning clear. Grandma remembers what matters to her very clearly. Shen Youchu looked at me. I was sprawled in a beanbag chair, fiddling with my phone. My posture was utterly relaxed. What I had said was meant to comfort her. Her restless heart gradually seemed to calm. The little old lady suddenly smiled. Grandson-in-law, everything I said was right. Was it not? I nodded. That is right. You little brat. Do you see that? Your husband even remembers exactly what you wear every day. You are in his heart. I froze. I simply have a photographic memory. I never made an effort to remember. I was about to explain, but Shen Youchu merely stared at her computer and ignored us. What I did not notice was that the tips of her ears had turned faintly red. I continued studying the information on my phone. I still had no direction for the final stage work on Alzheimer's disease. I stood up and went out for a walk. The moment I went downstairs, someone tapped me on the shoulder. When I turned around, I saw Liu Li's gambling-addicted younger brother, my uncle, Liu Yaoguang. Nephew, it has been a long time. I stepped back. What are you doing here? I heard you had ingratiated yourself with the Shen family, nephew. Your uncle is a little short on cash lately. Could you lend your uncle some money? I sneered. I have no money. You have been taking such good care of that old hag. Has she not given you any money? I narrowed my eyes. Not yet. Maybe she will give me some eventually. Liu Yaoguang gave a sleazy grin. Then you must lend some to your uncle when that happens. If you give me enough, your uncle can tell you a secret. He chuckled and walked away. I gave a scornful laugh. Just then, my phone rang. I looked at it, and it was Madame Ling calling. Meanwhile, in the other hospital room, Ling Fan saw that Dr. Yi still had not replied, while Shen Shen kept pressing him. So, while Madame Ling was asleep, he stole her phone. He found Xiao Yu in her contacts and called the number directly. The call connected. My voice softened. Hello. Does Madame Ling need something? Ling Fan suddenly went still. Ling Yu? His eyes widened in disbelief. There was no way he could mistake that voice. My heart sank, and my voice turned colder. Ling Fan, what are you doing with Madame Ling's phone? This is your phone number? I was momentarily at a loss for words. What nonsense are you talking about? Only then did Ling Fan realize Ling Yu's name also contained Yu. Madame Ling occasionally called him Xiao Yu. He let out a huge sigh of relief. Ling Fan dropped his pretense and said viciously, I just want to tell you this. Even if you latched onto Miss Shen through old Madame Shen, at most, you are just a toy. Miss Shen has a husband, but I am different. One day, I will marry Sister Shen Shen and become the Shen family's rightful son-in-law. Then congratulations. Feelings alone are not enough in powerful families. With Dr. Yu at my command, I will always remain undefeated. After hanging up, the corner of my mouth twitched. Since when did I become one of Ling Fan's generals? Right afterward. Then the Dr. Yu contact on Madame Ling's phone began ringing. It was Ling Fan again. I turned on my voice changer and answered. Ling Fan's tone was exceedingly respectful. Hello, Dr. Yu. I apologize for disturbing you so abruptly. I am Ling Fan, Li Xia's son. The Shen Group would like to invite you to join its research and development team. My mother feels the same way. Would you be interested? I cut him off coldly. I answer only to Madame Ling's companies. With that, I hung up. Monday arrived. I returned to work at the Shen Group. As I left the hospital, I was about to call a taxi when a Bentley pulled up smoothly beside me. Staring ahead, Shen Youchu said, Get in. Grandma asked me to drive you to work. Shen Youchu glanced at me. We need to take a picture. I climbed into the backseat. She raised her phone and took a picture of us together. I flashed a peace sign, grinning brightly. Shen Youchu stared blankly for a moment at the company. I headed straight for the archives on the 60th floor. Meanwhile, the research department announced Shen's transfer and promotion to deputy general manager. The reason was that she had recruited Dr. Yu. In the top floor office, Liu Qiang reported on my whereabouts. He joined the Shen group to consult its research materials. He spent the entire morning in the library and had not even eaten lunch. Shen Yuchu's eyes flickered. She went downstairs alone to find me. Before the neurology shelves, I was standing on a ladder, reaching for materials on the top shelf. Once I got the book, I was overjoyed. Then my foot missed the rung, and I fell. I landed right on top of Shen Youchu. When I saw it was her, I hurriedly got up. I am sorry. I did not mean to do that. Shen Youchu took a moment before getting to her feet. Her ears were red, but she pretended not to care. The atmosphere was awkward. I made a random excuse and slipped away. Before leaving, I hid that important book in an inconspicuous corner. When I returned to the library that afternoon, the book was gone. I was completely baffled. Then it hit me. Only one person in the company could take books as they pleased. On the top floor, Shen Youchu was paging through that difficult neurology text, her brows tightly furrowed. Liu Qiang grumbled beside her. Boss, Ling Yu does not know what is good for him. He is not here to work at all. That is right. He was never here to work. Shen Youchu replied blandly. Liu Qiang asked whether the book should be returned. Shen Youchu tapped the book with her fingertips, thinking of my eager, captivating eyes from earlier. An unfamiliar heat stirred in her chest. Not yet. At quitting time, the Bentley waited in the underground parking garage. Liu Qiang asked, Boss, shall we go? No rush. Shen Youchu held that thick reference book in her hands. Only after I got into the car did she raise her eyes and say, let us go. Liu Qiang was a little stunned. The boss had not seemed to arrange to leave with young Master Ling. After work, I returned to the hospital. The moment we reached the VIP ward, we heard Liu Li's ingratiating voice. Old madam, I came especially to see you. We truly are fated to know each other. Old Madam Shen blocked the doorway, staring straight at her. If you do not leave, I will have someone beat you up. Liu Li gave a placating smile. I am Ling Yu's mother. Old madam, do you not like him most of all? For his sake, you should not treat me this way. You are not his mother. Old Madam Shen said with certainty. Madam Ling is his mother. Liu Li instantly broke out in a cold sweat. She instinctively blurted out. How do you know? She was terrified. The child swap was known only to her and her younger brother, Liu Yaoguang. How could old Madam Shen be so certain? When she saw Shen Youchu and me approaching, Liu Li quickly composed herself, hiding her guilt. She walked over and handed me a thermos. Ling Yu, Mom brought you chicken soup. You have worked hard caring for old Madam. Have more and build up your strength. I found it utterly ironic. I asked coolly, what do you want? The remaining 2% of the shares. Old Madam Shen thinks so highly of you. If you ask, she will surely agree. Help your brother. Otherwise, in front of Shen, he will never be able to hold his head high. I gave her an icy look. No. Liu Li's expression froze. She simply sat on the floor and began to wail. Fine. I went through so much to give birth to you. And now that you have found rich connections, you turn your back on me without a shred of feeling. Everyone, come look. My son is an ungrateful wretch. He is ashamed of his low-born mother and wants to be someone else's grandson. The nearby medical staff began whispering and pointing. I watched her without changing expression. The helplessness in my heart only deepened. Keep making a scene and disturbing the patients. Security will escort you out. With that, I walked straight past her. Liu Li flew into a rage. Ungrateful brat. She sprang to her feet and viciously threw the chicken soup at me. Watch out. A pair of cold hands pulled me into an embrace. Shen Youchu stood behind me, taking the full blast of scalding soup from me. My pupils constricted. I hurriedly asked, are you all right? I am fine. She frowned slightly at Liu Li, who had fled in fright. Inside the hospital room, the old lady anxiously tugged at her clothes. Take them off. Quickly. Let me see how badly you were burned. Are there any blisters? Does it hurt? Grandson-in-law, come apply the ointment. The old lady stuffed the medicine into my hands, then drove everyone else out. Grandson-in-law, she is in your hands. Only the two of us remained in the room. Shen Youchu said softly. Grandma is being ridiculous. I will have a nurse come in. I will do it. I walked behind her. The fading evening light fell across her back. I dabbed ointment onto my fingertips and gently spread it over her skin. She never made a sound. Once I had finished applying the ointment, she fixed her hair again. Thank you, young Master Ling. You are welcome. You did not have to shield me. If you had been hurt, Grandma would have been heartbroken. Shen Youchu gazed steadily at me. Have you forgotten? You are my husband now. My heartbeat skipped out of rhythm. I could not shake the feeling that Shen Youchu was somehow different now. I need to step out. For what? To get revenge. I had intended to find Liu Li, but spotted Ling Fan and Uncle Liu Yaoguang in the hallway. Liu Yaoguang rubbed his hands together. Dear nephew, Your uncle is a little short on cash. Ling Fan suppressed his anger. I gave you my allowance for this month. I cannot go on like this. If you do not give me money, I will tell him the truth. He will definitely pay a fortune. I pushed the door open and walked in. My voice was icy. What truth? Ling Fan jolted up in fright. Ling Yu, what are you doing? Eavesdropping on us? I looked Liu Yaoguang straight in the eye. Go on. What truth? I can pay you. How much? Liu Yaoguang's eyes lit up. Ling Fan said in a panic. The money you want. I will find a way to get it to you. Now get out. Before leaving, Liu Yaoguang whispered to me. Nephew, the secret will always be useful to you. As long as you name the right price, I will sell it to you. I messaged Jiyu. Look into Liu Yaoguang. I turned and saw Ling Fan about to leave. I said coolly, if you do not want anyone to know, do not do it in the first place. What happened between you and Liu Yaoguang? Did you think I would not find out? Ling Fan stiffened. What are you talking about? I do not understand. What hold does he have over you? That makes you pay him every month. What nonsense are you talking about? If you have any energy left, you should think hard about your own way out. Do not waste your time on me. Where is Liu Li? She is your mother. Why ask me? How would I know? Ling Fan quickly fled. I called Liu Li. Come back and apologize to Miss Shen. No, Miss Shen will not let me off. You apologize for me. You are my son. A son should pay his mother's debts. In that case, do not blame me for calling the police. Why are you calling the police? I am your mother. You were the one I meant to hit. A mother has every right to hit her child. I hung up immediately. Liu Li injured Shen Youchu and was placed in criminal detention for 48 hours. Back in the hospital room, Shen Youchu was holding a meeting in the RV downstairs. I sat by the bed. I am sorry. The old lady waved it off. Grandson-in-law. Why say that among family? Besides, seeing that brat stand up for you, I could not be happier. Family. That word made my eyes sting. By then, Ling Fan had scraped together 50,000 yuan and transferred it to Liu Yaoguang. He added, keep your mouth shut, or neither of us will end well. Fear churned inside him. He only wanted to marry Shen as soon as possible. Once he became the Shen family's son-in-law, even if his identity was exposed, he would still have a way out. At 9 that night, Shen suddenly came to see Ling Fan. Ling Fan said delightedly, Sister Shen, what brings you here? Shen demanded sharply. About Dr. Yu. Are you sure you settled it with him? Ling Fan's eyes flickered. Of course. Then arrange a meeting between Dr. Yu and me. Ling Fan nervously picked at his fingers. Dr. Yu is gone abroad. I will arrange it when he returns. Sister Shen, is there a problem you need solved? I will contact him for you. Shen eyed him suspiciously. I emailed you the problem. Forward it to Dr. Yu and have him help resolve it. All right, I will forward it to him now. Ling Fan knew Madame Ling's email password by heart. He had discovered that Dr. Yu always replied to Madame Ling's emails at once, without ever asking questions. That was why he dared to lie. He worked his phone and forwarded it at once. Dr. Yu usually replies to my messages immediately. Please wait a moment. Sister Shen. In the VIP room, my phone vibrated. I glanced at it. It wasn't a mail from Madame Ling. Xiaoyu, can you help solve this problem? The attachment was indeed a technical problem from the Shen group. I gave a derisive laugh. Ling Fan was actually using Madame Ling's name to ask for my help. I replied coldly, I am responsible only for the Ling family. The Shen group's problems are not my concern. A notification sounded on Ling Fan's phone. He opened the email with a broad smile, but the moment he read it, his smile froze. Shen frowned and asked, what is it? Ling Fan forced down his panic and gave an awkward smile. Dr. Yu says, this problem will take a few days to solve. Shen breathed a sigh of relief. That is normal. This problem is indeed difficult. I made a bet with Ling Yu's team. You can have a solution ready by Friday, right? No problem. But Ling Fan's gaze kept shifting. Shen returned to the Shen residence. For the first time ever, her father Shen Yuanji smiled at her. That is my good daughter. You actually managed to hire Dr. Yu. You have gained a foothold in research and development so quickly. Her mother, Liu Mijin, wept tears of joy as well. Shen clenched her fists. Since she had chosen an arranged marriage, she would never regret it, and Ling Fan could only belong to her. Elsewhere, I sneezed and went back to work at my desk. My cup was empty when a shadow suddenly fell before me. Shen Youchu poured a glass of water and set it on the small table. I paused, then said, thank you. You are welcome. It was nothing. Shen Youchu naturally returned to her seat. The old lady watched us, smiling from ear to ear. She had already started flipping through a dictionary for names for her great-grandson. The next day, in research and development, Shen stopped me in the break area. There is an industry gathering on new energy tonight. Everyone attending is a major name in the field. They say Dr. Yu may attend as well. I did not slow down. And the Shen Group's research and development department has invitations. I can take you along to see it. You could make some connections. No. Thanks. Without looking back, I entered the office. Team leader Ling Yingqiao sneered. You think one invitation can win him over? Ling Yu is not that short-sighted. Shen said coldly. You should understand. I can offer him better resources. A gathering like that. Do you think just anyone can attend? At least I can take him there. After work, Ling Yingqiao stopped me. There is something to do tonight. Come with me. I did not think much of it. I messaged Shen Youchu that I would be working late, then got into her car. At the reception entrance, a server stopped Ling Yingqiao. I am sorry, Miss Ling. The Shen Group's attendees for today were reported to us in advance. Your name is not on the list. Shen emerged holding a glass of champagne. She narrowed her eyes. Team Leader Ling. Group B is in the middle of research work. I assumed you would not come, so I declined on your behalf when I submitted the list. It seems so late to fix it now. You should go back. Ling Yingqiao burned with anger. Shen, you have gone too far. What gives you the right to decline from me? I am the Deputy Director of Research and Development. Of course, I can make that decision for you. Shen turned to me. Ling Yu. Do you see now? Without my approval, you cannot get through those doors. I raised my eyes calmly. Is that so? I took out the electronic invitation you had mailed me. I handed it to the server. May we enter now? The server took one look, then respectfully stepped aside. Please come in. Shen's expression changed drastically. She stared at the invitation issued and my name on my phone. What status did you use to get that invitation? None of your damn business. I turned off my screen and said to Yingqiao, shall we go? Ling Yingqiao was overjoyed. She took me into the venue and introduced me to industry leaders. As we exchanged pleasantries, Ling Fan and Shen walked over. When industry veterans like President Ling saw Ling Fan, they immediately gathered around him. Young Master Ling, when will Dr. Yu finally make an appearance? We would love to learn from him. Ling Fan basked in their admiration while feigning modesty. I only came to accompany my fiancé today. Shen took the opportunity to build connections as well. Pushed to the edge of the crowd, Ling Yingqiao whispered to me, Ji will be here soon. Do not be shy. Be bold and go offer her a toast. Too many people want to meet her. The corner of my mouth twitched. I will introduce you to her later. Ling Yingqiao assumed I was just bragging. Then a commotion broke out at the entrance. Ji had arrived. Ling Fan smugly adjusted his suit and walked toward me. Ling Yu, do you need me to introduce you to President Ji? Shen sneered as well. Do you think Ji Yu is the kind of woman who chases after men? So many good-looking men have pursued her, and she has not given any of them a second glance. Do you really think you are that irresistible? Ling Fan led Shen toward Ji Yu. President Ji. Before he could finish, Ji Yu swept past them like a gust of wind. Before the crowd's stunned eyes, she rushed joyfully to my side. What are you doing here? The entire room fell into deathly silence. Ling Fan's outstretched hand froze in midair. Before he could erase the smile on his face, it congealed into comical terror. Shen was utterly dumbfounded. Her champagne glass nearly slipped from her hand. President Ji, have you mistaken him for someone else? Ling Fan asked in a trembling voice. He is Ling Yu, just an idle nobody in our family. Ji Yu did not even acknowledge him. She simply gazed at me with blazing eyes. Boss, I sent you dozens of emails inviting you, but you always said you were too busy. So you came incognito to check things out. I smiled helplessly. I came with my supervisor to handle a personal matter. Boss? Shen let out a shriek. Her voice cracked. Ji Yu, you called him boss? Is he not Ling Yu? The man living off his thug wife's money? Ji Yu turned toward her, her face cold. Her eyes were sharp as blades as she said, Miss Shen, watch your words. The man standing before you is the Shen Group's long-sought technical genius, and the elusive Dr. Yu you have all heard about. At her words, suppressed gasps erupted from the crowd. Impossible. Ling Fan completely lost his composure. He pointed at me and roared. Dr. Yu has clearly been in contact with my mother all along. How could he possibly be this illegitimate son? Ling Yu, what did you give Ji Yu to make her put on this act with you? I stepped forward and stared at him coldly. Ling Fan, you stole Madam Ling's phone to send that email. Did you really think I would not know? That line, I am responsible only for the Ling family. Did you not just receive it? Ling Fan's face went ghostly. His legs gave out, and he collapsed to the floor. Shen swayed unsteadily. She looked at me, her eyes filled with regret and disbelief. She had always thought I was struggling in the gutter, so she had tried to humiliate me with 50,000 yuan. But in the blink of an eye, I had become a god she could only look up to. Just then, another commotion rose outside. To everyone's surprise, Madam Ling walked in, supported by Nanny Nan. Her complexion was rosy, and her steps were steady. There was no trace of yesterday's sickly appearance. Ling Yu. Madam Ling came straight toward me. Her eyes brimmed with tears. You developed that medicine yourself, did you not? I nodded. Do you feel better now? Never better. Madam Ling turned to Ling Zhenin and Liu Li. Her voice was cool and resolute. Zhenin, have you not always wanted to meet Dr. Yu? He is right here. And my trusted aide, Chenji, has already told me the truth about what happened back then. Nanny Nan stepped forward, glaring at Liu Li. Liu Li, did you think switching the babies at the hospital would stay hidden forever? I have been investigating for all these years and watching you. What kind of woman ignores her own son, yet showed extraordinary concern for someone else's son? I knew something was wrong long ago. I have already obtained the paternity test. She flung out a report. Ling Zhenin accepted it with trembling hands. When he saw the results, he spun around. He slapped Liu Li across the face. You dared replace my son with your bastard child. Liu Li cried out in agony. She went completely limp. Ling Fan stared at the report, then cried out in despair. I am the Ling family's eldest son. I am the true heir. I watched it all without emotion. Status, wealth, blood ties. The things that had once bound me now seemed lighter than a feather to me. Boss, the car is ready. Ji reminded me softly. I turned to leave, but someone gently took my hand. Somehow, Shen Youchu was standing behind me. She had changed into an ink-black gown. The wound on her back was hidden beneath the fabric, but her gaze held none of its former coldness. Mr. Ling, she said softly, with a trace of reliance even she did not notice. Grandma is still at the hospital, waiting for us to come home. I looked at her. Something gently struck the softest place in my heart. All right, let us go home. As we left the banquet hall, Shen rushed out. Tears streamed down her face. Ling Yu, I was wrong. Can we go back to the way we were in college? I did not stop walking. Without looking back, I left her with one sentence. Miss Shen, you once said an illegitimate son and a thug were the perfect match. I think you and the current Ling fan are the ones truly made for each other. Shen's desperate sobs echoed behind me, while Haichin's dazzling light stretched before us. In the car, Shen Youchu suddenly asked me, that neurology book, when will you return it to me? I raised a brow at her. President Shen, are you checking up on me? She turned to look out the window. The tips of her ears were faintly red. I am worried that Dr. Yu might run off one day, and Grandma will tear the Shen group apart. I was speechless, then laughed. I casually slipped an arm around her shoulders. This time, she did not pull away. Do not worry. Our contract has not expired yet. Besides, I have not even become your real husband yet. 3 months later, on the day the clinical Alzheimer's medication was successfully developed, the first rain of autumn fell over hiking. When I came out of the laboratory, I saw Shen Youchu standing at the entrance. She held a black umbrella. She wore the ink-black gown I had seen countless times. She seemed to have been waiting a long time. Fine raindrops clung to the ends of her hair. Grandma asked me to pick you up. Her tone was as cool as ever, but from that usually expressionless face, I could see something had changed just a little. The tips of her ears had turned red again. I walked over, naturally took the umbrella, and drew her closer beneath it. President Shen came to pick me up herself. I am honored. She shot me a glance. She said nothing, but she did not pull away either. The car headed for the Shen family estate. On the way, she suddenly said, that divorce agreement. I turned to look at her. She paused. Her gaze settled on the rain-streaked view rushing past outside. Her voice was so soft it seemed meant only for herself. Grandma tore it up. I froze for a moment, then smiled. What do we do now? Shen Youchu hesitated. A rare hint of embarrassment appeared on her face. She said Grandma had gone to great trouble to find me a grandson-in-law. So, we cannot divorce. I said nothing. I simply looked at her. At last, she turned to me too, and met my gaze. Rain pattered softly beyond the windows. Inside the car, it was quiet enough to hear each other breathe. Her eyes shone brightly, as if they held starlight after the rain. Ling Yu. She called my name. Her voice was cool, yet softened by a tenderness she had not noticed herself. We are starting Grandma on your medicine. Her first course begins tonight. She nodded. After a moment of silence, she added, thank you. I looked at her, suddenly wanting to tease her. Only a verbal thank you. She blinked in surprise. She clearly had not expected that from me. On her usually icy face, a flicker of helplessness appeared. I laughed. I reached over and ruffled her hair. I am teasing. She glared at me, but she did not evade my hand. The car stopped outside the Shen family estate. The rain had stopped. A sliver of sunset appeared on the horizon. The little old lady had been waiting at the door. The moment she saw us get out, she greeted us with a beaming smile. She took my hand in one of hers, and Shen Youchu's in the other, pulling us both into the house. Quick. Quick, we have been waiting for you two to start dinner. At the dinner table, the little old lady kept placing food on my plate. Then on Shen Youchu's, she kept fussing. Grandson-in-law, eat more. You two. You little brat, you are both too thin. For once, Shen Youchu did not object to being called a little brat. She simply ate quietly, occasionally glancing up at me. After dinner, the little old lady pulled us into the courtyard for tea. The setting sun washed the entire courtyard in warm orange. The air carried the fresh scent of earth after rain. The little old lady suddenly said, grandson-in-law, you little brat. Let me tell you something. Shen Youchu and I looked at her at the same time. The little old lady smiled warmly, but her eyes sparkled. I remember now. I was startled. How did the two of you get married? Then I remembered. It turned out both of our marriage certificates had been arranged entirely by the little old lady. We had gotten married without even knowing it. The little old lady smiled at me, grandson-in-law. You do not blame me, do you? I looked at Shen Youchu, then at the little old lady, and suddenly smiled. I do not. The little old lady nodded in satisfaction. She looked between us again, then suddenly asked, so, when are you planning the wedding? Shen Youchu could not sit still any longer. She rose to leave. The little old lady grabbed her at once. Where do you think you are going? You are already married. Why be shy? I watched the scene with a smile. Suddenly, I felt this was probably the life I had always wanted. Shen Youchu finally freed herself from the little old lady's grasp. She came to my side and said softly, let us go. I stood up and said goodbye to the little old lady. She waved with a beaming smile, then secretly slipped me a note. Once we were in the car, I unfolded the note. It read, grandson-in-law, if that little brat bullies you, tell me, and I will set her straight. I could not help laughing. Shen Youchu leaned over to read it. After reading it, she was silent for 2 seconds. Then she said, Grandma's handwriting is quite pretty. I turned to look at her. Meeting my gaze, she suddenly asked, Ling, what are you smiling about? I looked at her and said earnestly, because I'm lucky. She paused. What? I got a wife without spending a cent. I said, though it was fake at first, but now it seems to be becoming real. She stared at me for several seconds, then looked away, toward the window. But I saw it, the slight curve of her lips. The car slowly drove into the night. Haichin's lights flowed beyond the windows. Shen Youchu, I called to her. Yes, are you free tomorrow? She turned to look at me. I looked at her. With a smile in my eyes, I said, let's tear up that divorce agreement. She was silent for 2 seconds, then gave a soft hum of agreement. It was so quiet, yet it carried more weight than any promise in the world. Outside, Haichin's night was deep and rich, and I felt that this was the